I stayed up to watch this. Let's go. I'm going to mute the TTS. And here we go, guys. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for an absolutely amazing game series? So here we go, right? Round of 4. Last Protoss in the tournament. Obviously, it's potato quality. There's nothing that can be done. All right, so this first map is Mercury. I only vaguely remember the map. It's actually been many, 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 many years since I've watched this. Yeah, it's over 10 years since I've actually watched this match. Obviously, this happened 18 years ago. Wow, that's crazy to say. Which player was which face-wise? Oh, sorry, I didn't say that. The really handsome one was both of them. I'll tell you as soon as it pops up again. Anyways, we have iloveoov in the top left, and in the bottom right we have Reach. They'll do another camera shot of them relatively soon here. Of course, those audience shots. You know, originally why all the girls in the audience would cover their face and laugh when they came on camera was because a lot of times they were not at their after-school activities and stuff. So they were hiding. What's up, Green Lord? Good to see you. I'm excited for this to actually get started. This is an epic, epic game. You guys are going to love this. Very different type of older map. You can see that weird-looking choke right there. We never have chokes that look like that anymore. Now, this was, let's see, this is the OSL studio, yeah. So this should be up in Yongsan. Or it used to be. Obviously, OSL OGN doesn't exist anymore. That's a corrective depot, by the way. They've gotten very good at making mineral patch fields now, so we don't get many corrective buildings in there, but you used to actually place a fair amount of depots, spawning pools, pylons, things like that, to correct pathing for workers. You can see it's kind of making it go straight down there. Otherwise, sometimes on those side patches, they bow way out and take way longer. It's a little bit of micro here from Reach. It's a 4-player map, as you can see. Just kind of both of them scouting around everywhere. Notice he's still mining gas here. You can definitely see some differences with play back then and today. You will basically never have anyone make a factory and keep making gas these days. That's Reach right there. And that's iloveoov. And look at that, a 2-factory play. Not a popular build anymore. People hold on against 2-factory very, very well now. Now, I'm assuming that that's speed, but I don't know 100%. And look at that, 1 base robo. A different time for sure. Look how big the map is, too. To go 2-fact on a big 4-player map like this. So the second add-on. One thing to note is that he's not making any Marines for buffering here. So this is going to have to be very tactically based, how he attacks here. Oh, it was Siege first? That's crazy. You see how old this looks? Like, it's amazing. You will never see a build like this right now. The game has progressed so much in the past 18 years. You would lose at C rank with this build. That 2-gate observer on one base. Engineering bay now, all one base still. What a funny play. Look at this. The siege tank kind of keeps him safe, and then he goes into the speed vultures, lays some mines out, and goes out on the map. This is all, again, on one base. Now look at this. Reach coming out with 2 goons. He has observers out already, so his build actually counters this really, really well. Gonna go ahead and clear some of these mines. He has a couple of goons on his bridge over to his natural while he's making his nexus. So, like, looking at this position, this looks very good for Reach right now. But, of course, again, a different time. This type of advantage wouldn't get back then parlayed into what it would nowadays. And there's Uv taking his expand. By the way, to put this into perspective for today's timings for people, right now, if this were just a standard upgrade Terran opener, your +1 would be halfway done right now as Terran.
가장 위협이 되는 것은 혹시나 모르는 벌처가 기습하거나 어떤 드랍십 플레이에서 프로브 피해를 받는 것인데 그런 거 대비돼 있어요. 그런 것에 대한 대비는 저 박정희 선수가 철저하거든요.
Really interesting macro location there, throwing his factories closer to his natural. Yeah, this is a common thing. They would take cheerfuls and put them up on the kind of desk with them.
돌파를 좀 시도하는 듯한 느낌이고요. 아들의 성지가 혹시 지어졌나요? 자, 본진 쪽 박정석의 본진 쪽. 자, 테크가 어떻게 되죠?
So 4-gate goon obs, like not that different from today. I mean, you can do 4-gate goon obs. Normally you won't do it after a 2-gate goon into expansion. It's kind of slow. It would be like if you went Nexus first and you thought your opponent might get aggressive, you'd go 4-gate goon obs. Look at all these vultures trying to run by with the 2 goons on the ramp. You can see even back then, vulture harassment. Very hard to get done by the best Terran in the world. You see chokes like these again? I don't think so, but, I mean, map makers can make whatever they want, right? Citadel? And 5th gate, okay. I think that's a 6th gate. Shuttle, okay. So 6th gate, Citadel, 2 base. This looks, and I remember people doing builds like this back in the day. This looks like an army busting build. If someone's trying to come out and actually push you, this on 2 bases, you should be able to smash whatever they have. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8. Reach, of course, expanded the middle, as we saw there. iloveoov moving out. We'll see if he expands or attacks. He's on 4 factory, so you'd think this is going to be an attack. But against 6 gate, I think Reach should be fine there. And look at the center of this map. How it's like the center is kind of islandish, and then you have to walk all the way around. Really a very different map design from what we normally see, but not that different from the current ASL map Monopoly. So that's kind of interesting. Now look at this. You can choose to go down the same path, and that's what they're doing here. That is a lot of Dragoons, and he scans that and turns around. Definitely the right choice to turn around there. So many Dragoons. So now he's up to 5 facts against 6 gates. So pretty good. You can see that these two are really matching each other very well. The best 2 macro players of this time. Speed done for these Zealots, moving out. Look at that armory. Look how late that armory is. 5-minute armory is pretty normal nowadays. That is about 11-minute, 30-second armory. What's up, Special? Good to see ya. Yeah, look at this funny, like, really wide open expansion and how the vultures just run down and wreck probes. You never, never, never see expansions open like this anymore. How are you supposed to, like... And look how thin that is as well. Imagine trying to attack a max Terran army there. You just don't have the surface area. And double armory at the same time. Definitely not common.
기술적인 싸움으로 다시 전환을 해야 됩니다. 네, 그래서 자, 스타게이트까지 지어놓은 모습이 보였고요.
아, 예, 박정수 선수가 서두르지 않는 이유, 예, 캐리어 나올 때까지 캐리어만 나오면 이길 수 있다는 자신감이죠.
그럼요, 지상 병력만 싸워가지고 변수가 조금 있습니다.
Oh, a nice little pylon wall. Looks like Reach wants to take another main. Preventing those vultures from coming in for now. It's such a choked map, right? Like the paths are so small. It's definitely a very, very old map. I mean, obviously we're watching a 2004 game, but like watch when iloveoov attacks here. These are such thin areas. There's no real chance. Like, it does make units clump, so we see High Templars coming out for Reach, so that does make sense. But you just don't have the surface area to attack it. So look at this. Reach going into Carrier, which is obviously a great choice here. Because the center is just flying terrain, right? So the carriers are going to be, if he can get to them, very hard to deal with. I believe I see a command center in top leftish area, by the way, so they're definitely both expanding. I love that eBay land. He has not only a mine there, but lands at eBay too. He just wants to slow that down as much as possible at an additional base. Definitely worth the 125 minerals. You're going to cost him more than that. So look at this. Look at that position. There's mineral patches in the way. Like, you literally just could never attack there. You could have 300 Protoss supply, and Terran will hold that position.
셔틀도 한 방만 맞으면 톡만 터지거든요. 아, 캐리어 생각 들어갔고.
최현성 선수가 이걸 전혀 모르고 있나요, 지금?
네.
단 한 기 정도일지라도 캐리어가 있는 거하고 없는 거하고 차이가 많이 나거든요.
네. 물론 아무리 두 개나 있고 언제라도 체제 전환할 수 있습니다만 지금 뭐 골리앗이
Yeah, running out some of these bases. Looks like he's finally getting Goliath range now. Which probably tells us that he realizes what's going on. Okay, first-person view. This is iloveoov, of course.
내려와야죠. 지금 이 타이밍이 사실 프로토스가 자신 없어하는 타이밍이기 때문에 내려와야 됩니다.
주연석 꽤 많이 내려왔으면서 아홉 쪽에다 조금 더 몇 cm 내려왔거든요. 아, 골리앗도 이제 추가되고 있고 캐리어가 나온다고 하더라도 갑자기 당하진 않습니다. 최연석이라면.
예, 이제는 셔틀을 통해서 질럿을 드랍하는 플레이 뭐 이런 거는 이제는 물 건너갔죠. 예, 다시 이제 골리앗도 확보되고.
Fast still. Like, he's the best Terran player in the world, right? He was the best player in the world at this time. But by today's standards, I think, you know, you can obviously see today's players a lot quicker. Here's Reach.
박정석 선수가 인구수가 한 170대죠.
이거는 그야말로 두 선수 간의 힘싸움이죠.
네, 자, 캐리어 생산 벌써 들어갔고 아홉
네.
쪽에다가 붙거든요.
예, 지금 이런 정도 타이밍에는 사실 싸움이 붙어주면은 프로토스는 캐리어를 확.
Ooh. You hear those cheers? Look at this, storming the hell out of those Goliaths and moving back. Honestly, looking at both their first-person views, to me, Reach looks better there. He looks more modern. He looks a little bit quicker and more efficient.
그렇죠. 예, 지금 같은 경우 그리고 박정석 선수가 자원은 풍부한 가운데 인구수가 막혀서 캐리어 찍기가 이렇게 좀 약간 애매한 상황이었거든요. 예, 이런 상황에서는 캐리어가 팍팍 늘어나요.
예, 최연소 선수에게 중요한 거는
그래도 업그레이드가 좀 앞서요.
Yeah, don't forget, this is from 2004. I mean, these guys, like, you wouldn't even believe how good they were for that time. It was crazy. Like, we looked at these guys as gods. But, yeah, a lot of people ask, like, you know, how far back do you have to go to win an OSL or whatever? This is, this doesn't hold up today, what we're watching. They're both very good, but we are at a much more forward spot 18 years later. Yeah, iloveoov is like that, yes. He's like Flash today, right? Flash is the Bone Joy right now. Or, I mean, he's in the military, but whatever. You get my meaning. All right, so here come the carriers. Very interesting having him send all the Goliaths to the side here to take care of the Nexus. Like, they are a little bit more mobile, and their DPS is rather high. So in a lot of ways, it's quite clean. But look at this. The carrier's going to come into the side. Like, the Goliaths are all way out of position right now. Going to start abusing the terrain of this map a little bit.
확실히 좀 높아지는 이런 효과가 있죠.
네. 그리고 교두보를 거점을 마련하고 있습니다. 중앙 우측에 박정 선수.
캐리어가 6기 정도는 모여야 어느 정도 공격할 수 있을 것 같고요.
네. 이번에 지상 병력과 함께 갑니다. 지상 병력이 받쳐주고 있죠.
조금 전에도 이 테라.
Look at that interesting little cannon setup. It's like he's trying to make a little entrenched position to utilize the carriers. That's a cute idea. Now, this is getting into the area that I really like about this game, right? They're both macroing like beasts. And you see, and the thing is, no one could out-macro iloveoov. That's kind of the big takeaway from his era. But look at Reach just fight him right back. Like, Reach just lost a Nexus. The map is, like, really choked up and everything. Look at him just push him back right now.
도착을 일단 병력을 뒤로 빼고 있습니다. 박정 선수 올라가려고 합니다만 주현 선수가 완강히 정하고 있어요.
테라는 프로토스하고 싸움을 할 때 기본 마인드가 탱크는 지킨다 이런 마인드를 해야 돼요.
자, 다시 한번 들어가죠.
는 굉장히 중요하거든요. 여기 밀리면은 최현우 선수 무너질 수밖에
질러지
없어요.
붙어서 탱크 쪽에. 자, 그래서 질러지 붙여라.
Look at that. Just getting right in there. He's lost a lot of siege tanks at this point. I believe that, yeah, the naturals on this map don't have gas, so it makes it a little bit tricky to balance out the Goliath production. Look at that, the carrier's retreating now. Definitely a good carrier map. Look at this, as iloveoov's macro pushes him back, here comes Reach's macro wave. And I want to throw this out there too, right? Because like everyone's used to watching pro level play nowadays, but this macro, watching this in 2004, I'm getting chills because I'm re-feeling what I felt back then, where you're like, how is he getting these units out here this quickly? How is his army this big right now?
질럿들이 그냥 막 달리는 거죠 지금.
바로 탱크 쪽으로 붙어요. 자, 이번에 또 치고 내려옵니다. 주현서 계속
줄다리기죠 지금.
네. 밀리고 있었거든요. 아, 이곳은 또 캐논도 있고.
아, 이거 박정 선수의 지상 병력이 더 확보돼야 되고요.
네.
아니 이런 캐리어와 지상 유닛을 동시에 사용하는 프로토스를 상대로 힘에서 밀리지 않고 야금야금 오히려 전진을 한다는 거 진짜. 아, 정말 최연석의 어떤 무력이라는 거 말이죠.
Look at this, he's trying to take out this base, his forward base with the cannons there. The siege tank count is just a bit too low. Look at how small that army is becoming. They're like just wiping each other out each time. Wow, saves all of them there.
이번엔 다시 박정수 선수가 치고 올라갈 수 있는 기회가 됐죠.
네, 하이템플러 많습니다. 저거는 진짜 꽤 많이 또 순식간에 올라갔어요.
Wow, someone just said something in the chat that's really interesting. Starcraft Remastered is older right now than Broodwar was when this game was played. That's a crazy statement. Look at this chase scene, my god. Trying to get those carriers so bad. Now, the things they haven't shown you here, like if I was observing this game, I'd be jumping all around. But look at all the nexuses Reach has. He has the entire bottom right, like the entire right side and the entire bottom of the map. And iloveoov is not slouching either. He's got like everything in the top left. So like we're watching this non-stop crazy macro and micro battle, and they are taking the entire map. Chills.
지금 양 선수 생산 건물 모든 생산 건물을 지금 이 전장에다가 랠리 포인트 다 치워놓고
그 정도로 속바르기가 지금 가장 중요할 때이고 숨 쉴 틈이 없어요.
저 한치도 밀리지 않겠다는 거예요 지금.
박정 선수는 캐리어가 거의 전력의 반이기 때문에 캐리어는 절대 일어서는 안 됩니다.
아, 바로 이 지역이 두 선수 간의 승패가 갈리는 전장입니다.
여기서 뛰어진 도망하는 수천이에요 벌써.
네, 그러니까 지금 뭐랄까요? 200대 200 중에서 일꾼 빼고 100대 100 인구수 100대
It's literally non-stop here. Look at the amount of storms he is throwing out. The Zealots are tanking for that. Like, look, he's sending up like 2 Zealots to tank, and his High Templars come up and hit the storms. And the carriers just with constant damage. His carrier count is getting so high at this point.
지원정 선수 당해요 아직까지는.
여기 밀리면 최현성 선수 더 이상 못 버팁니다.
하이템플 한방 골 준비하고 있고요. 자 골리앗 더 없습니까? 골리앗 더 나와야 돼요.
네, 옆에서 이렇게 엄청난 전투가 끊임없이 벌어지고 있는데 묵묵히 일하는 일꾼들 대단하네요.
이래야죠. 일하는 게 싸우는 거예요. 일꾼은. 자, 여기서 그러면 전진하는데 지상병력이 없어요. 지상병력 없을 때 캐리어 떨궈야죠.
올라운드 여기
네.
선수 단순히 힘싸움이라고 평가하기엔 너무나도 팽팽합니다.
네, 이거는
Look at that, picking off the command center. Huge, huge moment.
1경기의 중요성이 갈수록 커지고
Oh, he doesn't kill it. He goes back.
이렇게까지 어마어마하게 그냥 아니 자존심과 그 모든 것을 걸고
It's really interesting to watch the difference between dealing with carriers back then and today. Generally, what you'll do today is get a larger group of Goliaths, and when the carriers walk in, you walk back a little bit to kind of bait them in, attacking interceptors, and then you step forward. Whereas iloveoov runs back, and as they come forward, he runs forward and attacks the carriers himself. So he's focusing on eliminating carriers rather than reducing interceptors while trying to hit critical mass of Goliaths, which is how you do it now.
이런 상태로 지속이 되면 프로토스가 이길 수밖에
You can see everything's starting to get on fire for Terran now. Just picking off everything on top of the factories. You're going to force iloveoov way out of position now to come back and deal with this. Down goes the command center.
계속적으로 정면으로 승부를 보다가 워낙 팽팽하고 장담할 수 없다 보니까 박정희 선수가 공중 유닛의 장점인 흔들기를 지금 해주고 있는 겁니다.
그래서 오른쪽에 있는 커맨드 센터 두 개를 깼고요.
Oh, I love the cannons up everywhere.
받지 않고 있어요.
He's just so well defended, so much income. A lot of those bases going dry too, though.
잃었어요, 박정희 선수.
그럼요. 그리고 이번에 또 지상면 또 옵니다. 지상면 또 올라가요. 이번엔 드라군은 안 보이네요.
예, 그 지상 유닛의 공방 업그레이드도 드디어 됐어요.
네. 자, 박정 선수 여기 질러 템플을 모아놨는데 안 움직여요. 아직까지는.
We got mines right now just being used. We haven't really seen a lot of observers going around to clear mines or anything. It looks like he's just sending through zealots at this point.
유닛 간의 전쟁에서 캐리어를 뺄 수.
Better to do it quicker.
예, 지금 캐리어의 공격력도 2단계가.
Carrier's really abusing that center of the map.
자, 그러니까 이제 정면 치고 나갈 때 이것이 가장 중요한 그 전쟁을 치고 나갈 때 박정
예, 메카닉 유닛들은 풀업이죠 지금.
하이템플러 사이닉 스톰
자, 캐리어 받았을
사이닉
때, 캐리어 받았을 때, 캐리어 피해 받을 때 그때 밀어야 돼요. 밀면 되거든요. 아이템을 한다 병력 지켜야 돼요.
예, 결과적으로 이 병력을 박정희 선수 막으면서 9시점 멀티 파괴하면 박정희
네.
선수가 훨씬 더 좋죠.
근데 막아야 되고 이제 막아야 될 최현성 지금 거칠게 밀어붙이고
Dude,
있는데
everything's starting to die here for iloveoov.
아니라 3시 정도는 박정석 선수가 밀리더라도
근데 이거는
네,
캐리어로 막을 수
지금은
있어요.
캐리어가 온다면 또 달라지죠.
Yeah, picking off the tanks on the side.
균형이 약간 무너지네요. 드디어 박정석 선수 쪽으로 조금씩 기울고 있습니다.
Oh!
기지는 계속
He actually snapped that one.
그리고 병력들 또 있죠. 아이템으로 직구들 한방 쏩니까? 못 잡고. 자, 세시 교두보 병력 뒤로 빼고 있는 박정석 다시 보죠.
박정희 선수의 어떤 전체적으로 자원을 채취할 수 있는 구역과 최현수 선수의 자원을 채취할 수 있는 구역은 최현수 선수가 훨씬 더 위험합니다.
See someone asking how many Valks it takes to counter carriers. You could, like, they don't really counter carriers, and especially back in these days, there's a sprite bug with Valkyries, so they weren't really used. If you had more than, like, 2 Valkyries, they just wouldn't shoot. You'd get, like, 1 missile out of 12 of them. That was fixed and remastered.
밀리면 계속 여기저기 짓고 있기 때문에 병력들은 계속 뚝뚝뚝뚝 뽑고 있어요.
근래의 프로토스 테란전에 이런 물량전과 소모전이 있었나 싶을 정도로 대단합니다.
세시죠. 여기 캐리어에 놓으면
Look at that. iloveoov still fielding a huge army to take out another Nexus.
서준 선수를 상대를 할 때라든지 완전히 전략적인 플레이에 계속해서 의존을 하다가 최현성 선수 하필 최현성 물량의 최강이라는 최현성과 붙는데 물량전 해보자 이렇게 나온 거는 아주 의미가 커요.
네. 자신이 있다는 건데요.
그렇죠. 기세 싸움에서 절대 밀리지 않겠다.
네, 이제 새로운 유닛 수업되고 있습니다.
제가
박정
볼
선수.
때는 지금 박정 선수의 선택이 나쁘지 않고요. 저 캐리어로는 9시 좌측에 있는 두 곳의 멀티를 끊으면서 동시에 지상병력을 좀 모아야 됩니다.
네. 결국 박정석이 잃은 것은
Little bit of base trading going on here.
없기 때문에 그 땅과 그러면서 상대편 여러 가지 기술들 밀고 있는데
Definitely feels Reach favored at the moment. His carriers are just getting so much value.
박정석 선수도 지금 이 게이트웨이랑 이런 생산.
And look at this. Very, very standard, even today, right? Like, when you go carrier, just start massing out DTs. There's just too much stuff going on. Look at that. He morphs the Archon next to the siege tank to draw Splash.
밀고 있거든요. 동시 쪽 밀면서 몰라.
That helped him to kill that siege tank. The last goon shot got it.
박정석
네. 그 박정석 선수도 사실 저 동선 말이죠. 3시부터 해서
결국 기싸움에서 최현성 선수가 빼는 겁니까?
빼나요 최은성
이거 그거든요.
Yeah, now like every command center is starting to fall. There's so many Goliaths out. Oh my god.
그만큼 상황이 박정 선수가 유리하다는 겁니다.
우리가 다수가면 저 캐리어.
최현성 선수 역시 마찬가지 박정석 선수도 마찬가지. 요즘 두시 지역과 두시 지역 앞마당을
Yeah, to make it more clear, I see people asking about the way that iloveoov is microing compared to how we micro nowadays. So nowadays, you gun down interceptors a lot. So you'd kind of force the carriers more. Like in this game, the way that you see iloveoov dealing with this, it has much more to do with what Reach is doing than what iloveoov is doing. Because he is trying to chase carriers and snipe them, but you see Reach keeps running away, right? So because of that, eventually it evolved that we like kind of kite back and forth to kill interceptors. You try to keep the Goliaths kind of out of range so the carriers aren't shooting that well. And you gun down the interceptors, which obviously costs money and everything. And then if the carriers, if you have a moment, you step forward and attack them. But it's much more about gunning down interceptors. It's much more about hitting the critical masses and utilizing that upgrade advantage. Today's way of fighting is certainly better. Look at that Goliath. Oh my god. He's like literally fighting Goliath against gateway units and carriers at this point. Was it overconfidence?
정말 프로토스 테란한테는 정말 진짜 최강의 프로토스 같습니다. 박정석 선수.
그렇죠. 상대도 온게임이 상대도 전적 안 좋습니다만 준결승은 다른 것이야 박정석. 자, 이 게임을 치는데 그래도 최현성.
최현성 선수의 유일한 자원줄은 이제 12시 아래쪽 1시 방향.
This is, I think, at the point of this game, certainly the strongest macro game ever played. And honestly, like, another one doesn't even really come to my mind, but this is, like, just pure brute macro force on both sides. The amount of units these two have sent at each other at this point is just insane. Yeah, the 50-gate game was good, too.
한참 많을 겁니다. 최현성 선수는.
박정석 선수도 지금 어느 정도는 일꾼이 워낙에 많기 때문에 릴레이를 하네요. 자원 다 캐고 놀고 있었던 일꾼들이 저리로 이동한 거죠 지금.
템플러 지금 부대 단위로 모여 있어요. 2시 쪽에.
저 게이트웨이 밑에 이렇게 옹기종기 있는 템플러 3기는 전장이 바뀌고 난 이후에 저 뭡니까 랠리 포인트를 바꿔놓고 지금 생각을 못 하고 있는 거죠 박정석 선수도.
Look at this. They're like almost mined out on the map. The observer here is actually looking for where has minerals still remaining. It's just mostly the side bases, which are basically impossible for Oov to keep at this point. Oh, brutal storms. Yeah, you cannot attack over that bridge with Goliaths. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's just not enough Terran left there. Yeah, and now his command center he's building is going to have to go down. A lot of vultures actually out of position doing something else. Those would have really helped during that battle. Now expanding to the other side of the map. Really important tactic here to try to get another base. Going to be hard for the carriers to make their way over there without basically already winning the game.
충분치 않은 것 같습니다.
거의 다 썼으니까 당연한 거 진짜인데.
정말 대단한.
Honestly, the way this game has been going, I don't know how iloveoov still has this many units.
잘 썼기 때문에 지금부터 자원이 말라가요.
Felt like he was dead a while ago. But here he is, like he just killed the rest of the Gateway army. There's just a few carriers left over.
어떻게 끝이 날지 뭐 게이트웨이 한번 20개는 되는 것 같고요.
두 선수의 어떤 개인 화면이 상당히
내
궁금한데.
자원 체크할 수 있으니까 개인 하면 가요.
최현수 선수 자원 캐는 데는 지금 안 보이거든요. 예, 저
저쪽,
2시 쪽,
아래쪽에.
예, 2시 쪽에서 자원 캐고 있군요.
네, 박정성 계속 자원.
Another Nexus in the center.
이곳이
Oh god, iloveoov is mining, I think, from just one base, and he's making that bottom leftish base. All right, back to Reach's point of view.
네, 미네랄은 한 800 정도 되고.
박정 선수도 여유가 많은 거의 없죠 지금.
그 개스가 정말 부족하네요.
이제는 캐리어를 자식처럼 생각해야 돼. 이제 캐리어 이러면
iloveoov.
최현동 경기 장면인데 최현동도 자 아직까지 당분간 살렸거든요. 8시.
God, look at his army size. It's just crazy. Those storms, though, plus the cannons, so painful.
아, 좁은 다리에서 골리앗은 너만 이루고 자식이라 아주 8시가 희망이 더 진짜
전장이 이곳이 됐는데 그래도 최현수 선수는 남몰래 8시에서도 자원 채취하고 있고요.
Getting very low on Goliaths at this point. Almost no money in bank. What's that, like 217 minerals and 100 gas?
계속 나오고 있죠. 자, 여기
선수 간의 실력이 얼마나 팽팽한지를 잘 보여줍니다.
진짜 최강의 물량 테란과 최강의 물량 프로토스가 붙으니까 맵에 있는 자원 한 7, 80% 파먹고도 승부가 좀 안 나요.
결국 또 내주네요 최현수 선수.
자, 8시가 있거든요. 다른 데는 사실상 다 깨졌고. 자, 8시인데
지금 8시 멀티도 지금 파악했죠 박정선 선수.
그런데 옵저버가 봤어요.
야, 지금 오늘 경기는 진짜
근데 지금 최현수 선수 병력이 없어요.
실력 대 실력의 싸움은 한 20여 분 지난 다음에 끝났고 그 이후로는 수수 체력전인 것 같아요. 완전 체력전입니다 지금.
We're just about hitting the super desperation tactics here from iloveoov, where you're starting to use scans to take down observers so that your minefields get more efficient.
저희도 그렇습니다.
Ooh, the carrier's going to clear these two tanks just flying right over the center.
안 돼요. 1천 절대 밀리면 안 돼요. 절대 막힌 데가.
저 캐리어는 지금 8시 멀티를 견제하러 가는 건데 골리앗 추격해오고 있거든요.
또 격시시켜야 돼요.
양 선수 간에 전적이 어떻고 양 선수의 랩이 어쩌고저쩌고 막 여러 가지 데이터 들어갔고 말씀드렸는데 그런 거 이미 다 초기.
And look at that, the carriers are almost all gone now. A lot of Dragoons, though, against this mostly Goliath army.
올라오면 8시 멀티 못 지킵니다. 최현수 선수의 유일한 자원줄이에요.
8시 끈으로 갑니까? 아니면 추격을 합니까? 적을 추격합니까? 병력 나누나요?
What a sick game. What a sick game that is. That's game number 1 of this best of 5. So iloveoov just GG'd. Nothing left over there. Reach takes game number 1. What, like, the best macro game up to that point. If that gave everyone who watched it chills in 2004. Well, here you can see the little studio. Isn't that cool? All right. So that's game number 1. Let me go ahead and play whatever came up during that.
What?
Not a Doctor donated $3.33. Hey Artosis. Have you ever considered the possibility that part of the reason you get so upset with the game is that you watch so much pro play that you're subconsciously comparing your play to pros and getting frustrated because of that dissonance?
No.
Zealous89 donated $4.20. Artosis, you legit sound like a grandpa telling his grandson the days of AOL and DSL. This video is grainy AF. I donated as many pixels to dollars. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Malak 224 cheered. X300, I know TTS is silenced at the moment, so I'm willing to wait until the end of the game. I do have some thoughts on this game. I honestly believe Starcraft was better when people didn't know the optimal strategies. They were trying at the time what they thought was optimal, and we had super fun and interesting builds come out of it. Map design is huge too. Everything is so streamlined and clean now, you don't have those weird Blizzard ladder maps anymore.
That's
Looks
true.
fun.
It was. It was super
Malak
fun. It was a little bit more strategic back then, for sure.
X300, go ahead chat, fire up Starcraft and play some single-player maps. Lost Temple is the most well-known, but Blizzard made some super weird maps when the game released. Bases with just gas, no minerals. Bases with no minerals, just gas. They had no idea what this game would become. It's
That's for
just
sure.
reading about history. Just absolutely insane. _spooky_ghost cheered. X300, no one can hear me right now. Boobies. Butthole. Penis. Mario. Protoss is the hardest race.
Oh, you've gone too far now.
Venus. Terran is for nerds. Anus. Bitch. Bootleg VHS donated $3.33. I feel like we are watching bootleg porno from the 90s.
All right.
Yeah, I love a boy 69 cheered. X300, I love oaf. More like I am noob. Front-facing baby chick.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and we'll go
Front-facing
into game
baby
number 2,
chick.
okay? I'll be right back
Front-facing
one
baby
second.
chick. Front-facing baby 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 chick. What? Clueless Zoomer donated $3.33. Seeing Arty Man not mauled out of control is kind of nice, all things considered. Also, spam Ayaya while Arty is away. Malak 224 cheered. X300, it was already known that Toad had no penis, he was a penis. His entire penis-like body full of veiny pulsating veins. Peach shoved Toad entirely up her asshole, as he was a man penis. Entirely a penis, not a man. She had never felt such pleasure. Suddenly and without warning, the Supreme Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell hit her. She had the worst brown brew ever. Toad was shut out, as well as the remainder of her Taco Bell.
All right.
JSlay11 cheered. X300, how much fish can a pelican can if a pelican can fish?
Thanks, Jay Slay. Okay. Are we ready for game number 2? We ready for this? All right, this map is Pelennor. Let's do it.
네, 경기 시작됐습니다. 먼저 게임 스코어 1대0 앞서 있는 KTF의 박정석 선수.
There's Reach.
박정석.
And there's iloveoov.
SK텔레콤의 최원정 선수의 진영은 7수입니다. 양 선수들 대각선.
펠레노르 에버 이 맵에서 그 5차전까지 펼쳐지는 맵 순서에 박정 선수가 가장 부담 느끼는 맵이거든요.
그렇죠.
그러니까, 좀 자신 없어하고 고비가 되는.
Remember LAN parties, of course. Of course.
그런 만큼 이 경기를 잡아낸다면 박정석 3대0 분위기로.
Man, that first game was just so hype.
It
was just so hype.
박정석 선수가 특히나 이 경기를 부담스러워하고 있었다면.
And yeah, I mean, the uniforms they wore back in the day were so cool too. I definitely do agree with
지금
that.
같은 경우는 박정석 선수가 아주 도박적인 플레이를 해볼 수도 있고, 그리고 도박적인 플레이를 안 하고 그냥 힘싸움을 하더라도 굉장히 자신감 있게 해볼 수 있다는 거예요. 네. 저도 그만 괜찮아 뭐 이런 생각을.
Yeah, desert maps not as used. Some of the terrain features on desert maps I think not as good as the ones that we see more often. Like jungle tile set seems to make the best maps overall.
아주 강한 맵이거든요.
I think a big part of that is how ramps work. This is something I've mentioned before. The ramps on the Broodwar expansion maps, which are like ice and desert and twilight, the ramps are generally like wider and a little bit weirder to deal with. They aren't as good as the smaller jungle ramps. I'm not sure why we don't see as many though, honestly. I like desert tile set quite a bit. Looks like Reach will get in here and scout him second.
충분히 예상이 됩니다. 여러 가지 면에서 박정석.
예, 뭐 이 맵에서는 가로 방향이 한 번 나왔었고, 그러니까 6번의 이 테란제 슈퍼가 시작했죠.
I'm really excited to see the opener, because again, I haven't watched these games in at minimum 10 years, probably closer to 15. This is a series, of course, from 18 years ago. But you know, as we saw in game number 1, there's like a wider range of what can be done without losing the game. Like if you try to go one tank with siege mode into a bunch of speed vultures with mines on one base, nowadays you would just not win at any high level. Whereas iloveoov can do it and it turns into this giant awesome macro game. So the openers are really fascinating to see.
추가적인 첫 번째 멀티가 그 앞쪽에 있는 미네랄 레더기는 그렇게까지 또 큰 도움이 안 된다고 하더라고요. 그러면서 동시에 그러니까 넥서스를 거기다 지어서 그 멀티를 확보하기는 좀 아깝다.
So still mining gas there as we see.
멀티를 가져가기에는
Couple Marines caught the probe.
좀 부담이 된다. 그런 것이 까다로운 점이죠.
그렇죠. 예. 그리고 이 맵이 이제 머큐리하고 전체적으로
This funny base with the mineral patches on the side. Okay, second gate here for Reach.
그렇다면은 머큐리만 해도 캐리어를 띄웠을 경우에 프로토스가 운영에 되게 좋은데 이 맵은 캐리어 띄우면 확실히 프로토스가 좋은 거 아니냐. 맞습니다. 분명히 그렇긴 한데.
Where's his second building? Is it going to be a starport?
생각을 해야 돼요. 머큐리에서
So he's been mining gas this whole time, so he's got a ton of gas at the moment. Might just be a siege tank, I guess. Siege mode.
골리앗들을 태워서 날아다니면서 캐리어를 사냥하는 플레이가 굉장히 프로토스 입장에 제일 무섭거든요. 근데 머큐리 같은 맵에서는 그렇게 잘 안 하게 돼요. 근데 이 맵은 테란도 드랍십을 자연스럽게 뽑게 되는 맵이라는 점에서는 그 점에서는 캐리어를 뽑더라도 프로토스에게 좋기만 하진 않다는 거죠.
일단 박정석 선수는 가장 그 주력이 되는 유닛을 무엇으로 생각하고 있을지요?
Rack's kind of going up to an interesting location to scout.
결승, 최근에 뭐
Guess looking probably for a proxy robo or something.
참 사실 전 경기에서 캐리어와 지상 유닛을 그렇게 조합하라고 할 때는
This might be an FD push. It's possible. That was very popular back in 2004, 2005. FD being fake double, which is a fake two factory, where you make them like overcommit to the defense, but you're actually expanding behind it. Not really used nowadays.
근데 박정석 선수가 지금 투게이트웨이로 출발했기 때문에 이거 막힙니다.
자, 어느 정도 저희 무엇을 하려는 거죠?
벌쳐 기다리는 건가요 지금?
근데 그 좀 소위 흔히 말하는 그 조정현 선수 그 건담 러쉬를 구사하기에는 러쉬 거리가 너무 멀어요.
아니면은 혹시나 모를 몰래 건물 때문에 나가본 건가요?
What? What am I even looking at? What? Is that one base Stargate? Is this Starcraft 2? What the hell?
이번 2차전 펠레너로 에베에서 준비한 것은 빠른
Dude, he's going one base carrier.
패스트 캐리어.
This is not a thing.
가능하죠. 안 될 거 없죠. 오히려 대각선이기 때문에 상대방의 허점을 찔릴 수도 있는 거고요.
Alright, command center on the way.
커맨드를 최현선 선수가 준비하고 있다면
So I think he's going siege expand against a one base carrier opener.
위협 없이
선맵에서 프로토스 대 프로토스전에서 좀 나오는 경향이 있는 전략입니다만 선맵에서 풀토 대 풀토
I'm excited to see how this goes.
생각으로 되게 빨리
근데
나오나요?
정말 중요한 거는 들키느냐 마느냐입니다. 저런
Okay, we have a little string of mines here. I can kind of watch anything incoming. Wow, those turn around just in time.
같은 것만 잘 막아주면은
이거
킬 가능성이
이
높아요.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, there you go. Well, that's a problem.
위에 있는 드래곤 실드가 바꿔졌어요.
이 드래곤들은 그 박정석 선수가 지상 유닛이 얼마 되지 않음에도 불구하고 왜 왔느냐? 프로토스
Okay, one base carrier it is. I mean, you gotta make a nexus with it though, don't you?
내가 이렇게 압박을 한다 이거예요.
And look at the way he's mining from that base. This is almost freaky to see.
하는 길은 물론 벌처가 운 좋게 들어간다 모를까 지금은 거의 들어가기 힘들고요. 아카데미가 건설돼서 컴셋 스테이션으로 확인할 수밖에 없는데 보통 아카데미 또 늦거든요 테라는.
이제 컴퓨터 안 달려 있고요.
자투리 멀티 선수는 일단 이렇게 해가지고 자투리 멀티 먹고 뭐 이렇게 하다가 언덕을 수비할 수 있는 충분한 분량의 탱크가 확보되었다 싶으면 일단 수비 라인을 좀 구성을 하고 센터를 늘어서 이제 게스멀티로 날리겠다는 생각이고.
I'm just trying to imagine what one carrier can do. It's like a few missile turrets can hold off one carrier.
몰래 모은 캐리어가 한 3개 4개 이렇게 되면은 너무 괴로워질 수가 있습니다.
네, 넥서스 하나
Okay, there's his nexus at those 4 mineral patches
지상 유닛이 좀 뒷받침이 돼야 되고
that are
지금 프로토스가
shaped in the other direction.
가스가 압박이 아마 클 겁니다.
네, 그런데 아직까지는 그 가스기지 쪽을 시도하지 않고 있습니다.
제가 볼 때 캐리어를 3기까지 기다리는 것은 사실 무리고요. 너무 오랜 시간이 걸릴 테고
Look at that lucky audience.
2기 정도만 돼서 인터셉터가 꽉 찬 상태에서 지상 유닛과 함께 공격을 한다면
By the way, all those kids you just saw in the audience, those are all like adults in their 40s now.
로봇 테스트 올리고 있고.
옵저버는 분명히 있어야 되니까요.
네, 박정 선수가 뭘 할지 몰라서 몰래 건물 시리즈 때문에 꼼꼼하게
지금 박정석 선수가 얼만큼 준비를 잘해왔는지 그 캐리어를 준비하면서 이 12시 쪽에 이 드래곤 세워놓은 거는 멀티했다고 생각해요.
So true.
참 지킬 이유가 없는 거거든요.
만약에
멀티를 뭐하러 지킵니까?
저곳에 저렇게 세워놓지 않고 본질에 꿍하고
That was Flash's great-grandfather that we just saw in the audience, the little kid.
드라곤은 뭐? 박정 선수
트릭이죠.
네, 위험한 작전이기 때문에 그만큼 여러 가지 장치들이 필요해요.
그러나 이 캐리어가 나왔을 때 캐리어가 일단 뭐 대공 공격 능력을 아직
Alright, throws his comms hats down. Obviously, he still doesn't know what's going on. He's got like plenty of defense that he wouldn't die to anything at this point. He's got the missile turrets, some mines, siege mode, basically everything he needs right now. Throwing down a third command. He's on 4 factory.
컴퓨터 준비가 되고 앞마당까지 가져가거든요. 최연석 병력 꾸준히 모으고. 지금까지 별일이 없었어요. 별일이 없었는데.
그냥 그 막
이제 가야 돼요.
힘싸움에서는 밀릴 수가 있거든요.
이제 가야 됩니다. 박정 선수 2개거든요 캐리어.
He's on, is that 76 supply?
모든 승부를 거는 게 아니라 멀티도 가져가고 동시에 내려가야 됩니다.
그러니까 스타게이트가 쉬는 모습이죠 지금은.
네, 지금 최연석 선수는 시계 방향으로 9시 돌고 있고.
Imagine scanning and seeing that right now.
자, 병력이 약간 전진 배치돼 있는 상태.
근데 그 컴센테이션이
Now, I think what Reach is doing here is 2 carrier into mass
안 들킨 것 같아요.
ground?
네, 이제는 보여. 좀 작전을 전개하려고 하죠.
아, 이거 눈치챘나요?
자, 검세수로 이미 찍어서 상대편의 밑그.
네, 이거 눈치챈 거예요.
네, 털에서 막 늘리는 거 보니까 눈치챘네요.
네. 네, 파악이 됐다고 합니다. 그리고 이제 견제 들어왔고, 자, 그러면.
이거 캐리어 숫자가 많지 않기 때문에 미사일 터렛을 충분히 지어줄 필요성이 있죠.
네, 자, 보여줄 거다 보여줬고.
바로 들어가는 거니까
Flies right through the turrets here.
본진으로 바로
Gonna
들어가서
deny this
아무리
command center,
짓거나
which is
이런 건
super nice.
예, 파괴해야
자,
됩니다.
그게 최원준 선수는 바로.
Look at that, the armory not even done.
상대편 본진 쪽으로.
그렇죠. 예, 밀어쳐야죠. 지금.
네.
지금
Doing a counterattack here against what, 5 goons? You can definitely kill that with what he's got there.
지상 병력이 많을 수가 없거든요.
네, 그러니까 상대편 최원정은.
Oh my god.
자, 각오하고 그 시간 끌기 위해서 털은 여기저기 짓고 있거든요. 최원정 여기서 밀어내고 박정도 이격만 막아주면은 이경 분위기 나옵니다. 자, 드라곤 숫자를 빼내고 이제 미네랄도 미네랄 멀티가 돌리고 있기 때문에 지금 되는데.
예, 저거 예, 마인에 나오면 안 돼.
자, 탱크 강력하게 밀어붙이고 있죠.
근데 이거는 이 드래곤만으로 지금 막기는 힘들고요.
자,
추가적으로 캐리 한 기 정도만 나왔으면 좋겠는데.
Oh, flies right over the turrets. They're losing a carrier to them. Looks like this one base carrier build is not going to pay off.
뚫렸어요. 방어로 뚫렸어요.
선수의 판단이 좋았죠.
네, 방어도 뚫려서. 자, 프로는 점령되고 있고요.
네, 프로토스가 너무 아무렇대요.
예, 캐리어 보자마자 밀어붙인 거는 정말 좋은 판단이었습니다.
자, 벌써 3기가 아직 살아남았고 벌써 4개 더 들어왔죠.
Yeah, you're not going to recover from this type of position, that's for sure.
골을 잃어서는 안 돼요.
네.
박정호 선수.
뚫렸어요. 박정도 뚫렸어요. 뚫려서. 일꾼을 아마 좀 돌리기도 어렵고.
예, 이 경기는 무난한
What a strange cheese. Now, just to make it clear, in 2004, one base carrier wasn't a build. That was not something that you ever saw. And you never will see unless you tune in to Tasteless Stream PvP.
캐리어의 최원성 선수가 당황하지 않고 예, 잘 대처를 한 것이 뭐 가장 큰 승리의 이제 동력이라고 봐야겠죠.
네. 자, 그래서 박정선도 자, 버티고 있거든요. 근데 마인 때문에 위축이 되고.
네, 뭐 경기가 뭐 결판이 난 상황은 아니긴 합니다만 거의 한 8할 정도 가까이 기운 게 뭐 틀림없습니다.
네, 박정도의 카드가 안 먹혔어요.
2시에 12시에 타격받고 있고 지금 일꾼이 거의 없죠.
네,
Yeah, there's like no probes left. GG. So that's game number 2. Obviously not anywhere near as good as game number 1 there, but we're just getting this series started. A very strange cheese there from Reach. It's also really funny to see them place their command center in Nexus in such odd positions and do this like terrible mining on 4 mineral patches. You'll never see that nowadays. You'll never even see a map that has bases that look like that nowadays. All right, did you guys like the sound balancing there better, or did you like it better the first game? I put the game volume up a bit compared to my voice. First game? Second game? Camera didn't freeze. I've been practicing ventriloquism. See? I can start moving at any time I want. So wait, did we like the first one or the second one better?
Guy in the chat donated $3.33. What's the difference between one base and 2 base career? Is one base preferable? Is there any reason to not get the second base other than on this particular map the natural was only 4 patches?
It's not a build, it's not good. I don't know why he did it.
300, hey Artosis. When this ASL is over, could you and Tasteless cast a bunch of the old ASL even if it's just the finals? That would be cool, but the more the merrier. That would be pretty damn cash money of you.
We already casted the old ASLs.
2 pylons, 1 zealot donated $3.33. 2 factoids in life. Reach has the most chiseled looking achievous-inducing face. Anyone who says otherwise is a big fat stinky poopy butt face. Also, he is now GM for Brion Esports in LCK in LOL land.
Yeah, I knew about that.
224
cool.
cheered. X300, man, look at those second bases. 4 mineral patches. Jesus Christ. We need to go back, Artie. Maybe Terran did better back then because everybody was poor as a crab.
Maybe.
Droobtastic
Part of
cheered.
it.
X300, good night Artie and chat.
Oh, have a good sleep, Dr. Hooptastic. Cheers, man. Thanks for coming by.
Bitch. LMFAO donated $3.33. Look at Reach's face after the game, so disappointed that his one base carrier strategy didn't work. It looks like he actually thought it was going to work. Imagine the hours he must have practiced with his teammates, only to fly the carriers over turrets.
Yeah. Maybe if he doesn't
24
lose them, he can make it work.
X300, where are the VODs for it? I've never seen anything before like Season 6.
I mean, it should just be on one of the Afrika YouTubes. I don't know which one. Afrika TV has like 3 YouTube channels, so I would just check all of those, but we casted everything from Season 1. In fact, we did the Vant Round of 4 and Finals, which was the precursor to ASL. And that was like an Effort versus Bisu Finals. But yeah, we've done every ASL season. We've done every single ASL cast except for one, where we were out doing like the 20-year anniversary of Starcraft 1. Okay. So we're going to get into game number 3 here.
Heptagon24 cheered. X300, well you know what, the fact that you already did that, pretty fucking cash money of you.
Thank you, Heptagon. Yeah. No, you should definitely check them out. I mean, all the seasons are pretty good. I think Season 1 was the weakest by far, because it was right before the guys that were coming back like Flash were in full shape. That's the season that Shuttle won. So obviously you look at that and you're like, well, Shuttle's not actually one of the best players in the world. Well, he's one of the best players in the world, but he's not championship quality. Okay. Thank you much. We're going to mute the TTS here and get into game number 3. It's tied up 1-1. Wow, ASL 1 spoilers. Sag. All right, let's go, guys. Oh my god. There's a probe coming out on the map right now. One of the first 4 probes. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I just heard Zealot Cannon Rush. So this is Bifrost 3, by the way. This is one of the weirdest maps ever made. It actually was pretty cool and had a lot of different good games on it. It's got a weird ridge that goes up behind the main bases and everything. And watch, he'll probably go behind. This is a very common build for the map, to send a probe out right the way. There's a ramp that goes up to that, and there's an expansion back there, and you can build stuff on that high ground. But look, iloveoov sending his SCV down. So he is actually checking for that. He might even make his first pylon up there. I don't know. Or his first depot up there. So he's looking. And there's a ridge that goes... It's a really long path that you can get into those expansions through. So he's going to block that off in case there's, like, proxies elsewhere, block any scouting. Oh, man. Look at this now. Now, yeah, the SCV should see that when it leaves. Unless it pops out on the left side. If it pops out on the left side, he might lose this game. How crazy. Think about that for a second. It popped out on the left side, boys. Oh, he's going to be in trouble. Oh, my God. The Terran race. Ladies and gentlemen, the Terran race. Name of this map is Bifrost 3. Okay, he actually sends up a second one. Cancels his gas. He sees the double gate. Obviously, you got to just send SCVs up there immediately. Now, this actually is dangerous because he can't kill the back gate. He can kill the front gate, so it's only one gate Zealot he's dealing with, but he should not be able to kill that back one. He's a little bit late. If you start attacking the gates immediately with 4 SCVs as they start, you kill them before the Zealot gets out. Here, the 5 or 6 will kill the second one, but yeah, that first one, you can't prevent the Zealot. So he needs to make Marines and a bunker. The depot that he already made up there is forfeit if Reach wants to go after that, but he probably wants more damage than that, so he might skip that for now. Yeah, you can't do this. You absolutely cannot. You know what, though? This might make the Zealot pop out on the wrong side. That's a possibility. If you have your if he puts his SCV down a little bit, it might pop out on the other side. Sometimes you can block a pop-out location, and it finds the next... Okay, so yeah, it did pop out on the other side. Damn. 5,000 IQ. Oh my god. Now that's a bone draw. I can't even believe that. That's some big brain stuff right there. Look at this offensive gas now. Gate at home. It looks like actually the probe count is higher than the SCV count. Damn. And 3 Marines like just killed the Zealot. That's not an issue. He'll, I think he'll he'll kill the pylon before the next Zealot as well. So that's good. Okay, so this was held. Very solid from iloveoov. That was like a really smart move the way he trapped the Zealot in there. The placement from Reach actually ended up hurting him. Like I thought it was actually going to help him because the gateway couldn't be powered down. But then iloveoov with the big brain play, forcing the Zealot to pop out in the back so that he could block it in. Just awesome to see. All right, 2-gate core at home here for Reach. Oh, eBay wall. Yeah, this is something that used to happen too, is you could just build walls. You never really have chokes that work like this anymore. It became unbuildable because there were too many cannon rush things that you could see. Like occasionally you'd see someone throw a pylon down there and make a cannon against Zerg, and then they just lose.
꼭 완성시켜야 될 필요는 없는 것 같긴 해요.
자, 게스 캐고 다시 준비를 하고 있습니다. 최현 선수 상대편 뒤쪽에 상황을 해제시켰고 이제 박동석이 그러면서 태클을 착착착착 가고 있어요.
자, 이제 득실차가 어느 쪽이 얼마만큼 이득이고 얼마만큼 손해인지는
이거는
진짜 사실 연습을 많이 해본 선수가 더 잘합니다.
근데 지금 드래곤 압박을 탱크가 없는 가운데 막으려면 좀 위험하거든요. 최현선 선수.
일단 베럭스에서 꾸준히
Someone's asking about the name iloveoov. So OOV is this. It's the victory sign. It's 2 eyes with the victory sign. So he loves victory. In fact, he was such my favorite player. That was my iCup ID for a long time. I love victory.
내가 머리를 여기서 덧뽑는 거는 박정석 선수의 의도에 따라주는 것이기 때문에 상대방 의도대로 플레이를 해서는 안 된다. 남는 미래는 오히려 그렇게 커맨드 센터를 짓는 데 쓰는 게 낫다 이렇게 생각을 하는 건데.
최현 선수.
와, 탱크가 좀 너무 늦어가지고.
벌써 박정석의 드라곤 3기가 12쪽 지나고 있거든요.
이거는 입구를 지금 바로 두들기겠다는 거 나오는 유닛으로 머리 내기는 막을 수 있다고 지금 생각을 하는 거죠.
All right, so going ahead and expanding. It's so funny seeing these older maps that don't have gas at their naturals. Maps like that just literally aren't made anymore. They're just considered completely imbalanced. It's like a circle of imbalance where like Zerg becomes super weak against Terran, and then Protoss becomes super weak against Zerg. And I mean, Terran's always super weak against Protoss, so. He did. He clicked the Screaming Bird. The man toss. Love it. Now look at this. 3 goons walking all the way around. It's such a long travel path. But that's really annoying now. You got to bring a tank up there. And if you try to repair, you can pick stuff off. This type of stuff was so annoying. And Bifrost was a very popular map for a long time. We all played this map quite a bit. Look at this, just picking off SCVs left and right. You just never see stuff like that anymore, that's for sure. There's only 1 factory making the eBay. Yeah, just barely gonna repair that. It looks like oh, he's gonna bust the depot. Goodbye, depot. I think that was pretty good harassment. I think that was good for Reach. He killed several SCVs. Even if he ends up losing a goon or two here, it doesn't matter. That was really, really nice. And now look at this. The goon's pressuring the front. The one siege tank way in the back of his base. Reach is now mining from 2 bases. iloveoov is having a hard time even keeping any SCVs up. Oh, he's not going to repair that in time. Oh my... Are you kidding me? Really? Really? My SCVs would have spun there. We would not have gotten that one repaired. That's crazy.
진짜 최현성의 수비는 정말 사람이 하는 게 아닌 것 같은. 예.
근데 지금 최현 선수 어쨌든 뭐 피해가 큽니다. SCV 피해도 일단 크고요.
네, 하여튼 최현성 선수도 언덕에 멀티 시도해갖고 또 이렇게.
Okay, so this is a stabilization, right? He's got some turrets up. He's got tanks with siege mode spread around. He's got 2 bases. He's still only on 1 factory. It was a messy opener for sure, but iloveoov is now stable. Reach, of course, very, very stable here, in good shape. In the modern day, if I were commentating this game and you just showed me this, well, I would be confused by a few of the moves and stuff, but like in a modern day game, I would say that Protoss almost has this in the bag, because the amount of time it's going to take iloveoov to actually take another base, Protoss is going to get a lot. But this is exactly what you should be doing in this type of position, right? Like, he knows he's way behind on units. He's adding factories. He's not doing anything like Armory coming up. He's not wasting his money on Academy yet. Just kind of rushing up towards more units, because he just needs to field a bigger army. But look at the gateway count coming up here from Reach.
6대4 이상으로 조금 벌어지긴 했네요. 박정석 선수가 꽤 유리합니다, 지금.
그나마 최현성이 아니었으면 끝났을 수도 있어요.
네, 최현 선수가 지금 스타포트를 올린 것도 아니고 어쨌든 지금 유일하게 그 불리했던 상황을 좀 극복하려면 이제 벌쩍 플레이로 풀어고 싹 잡는 거, 이거밖에 없는데 거기에 당할지는 지켜봐야죠.
네, 조기에 노출이 됐고 저 주요 갈 길목은 이렇게 드라군을 잔뜩 길 막아놨어요, 몸으로.
이거는 또 이 그 마인으로 드래곤.
Again, a very, very strange map. The architecture, like there's all these very long paths that you can go down. You see like this weird pylon wall here. This is actually so far from a base, but blocks. It blocks the vultures outright. Third is going up. And of course, if that pylon wall wasn't there, that's the entrance into the high ground that would lead to the back natural and goes behind the expansion. So a very good block there. Just laying some mines around those bridges.
따지고 보면 이미 많이 불리해진 상황이기도 하고, 그리고 또 위기는 벌써 한 서너 번 정도는 있었어요. 일단 최현성 선수가 환상적으로 다 넘긴 거죠.
그래도 끊임없이 벌처로 상대편의 빈틈을 찾아보려고 하고 있고 확장 기초에서 가져갑니다.
도박수예요, 최현 선수.
그렇죠.
그런데 저런 모험을 안 할 수가 없습니다.
두발 네발 건너뛰어야 돼요.
벌처가 다 보고.
Reach just maintaining some map control there. This is really funny to see. Look at this, right? 3 tanks with siege mode there.
못 지나갔음에도 불구하고
Protosses nowadays would be frothing at the mouth to go bust that.
최현 선수가 무리수를 지금 11시 쪽에 두긴 넣었는데 지금 질럿의 어떤 추가 속도, 이런 병력 추가 속도 따져봤을 때 여기 위험합니다. 뚫릴 수 있어요.
위험하죠.
So that third command center is actually coming up very, very quickly, considering.
전체적인 전황을 제대로 파악하고 있어요.
11시 멀티 옵저버 가나요?
조금 있으면은 질럿들이 발업이 될 모양이죠. 전진 배치가 되는 거 보니까.
자, 벌초의 피해를 절대 받아서는 안 되는 박정서이고요. 그리고 주력 병력들이 이제
그러나 최현성 선수가 그 머큐리에서 그런 정도 이렇게 싸움을 한 거를 통해서도 알 수 있듯이.
I really like the play from iloveoov. I love the adjustment of only 1 add-on, very vulture heavy. That's kind of what you have to do because you only have 1 gas at this point. Have to make sure you're adding those factories. You'll want to grab that 2nd gas immediately. Throwing up extra turrets as well, very nice. This is a great move right here because iloveoov desperately wants to gain control of that area. Oh, with 2 Dragoons there, you just can't. Vultures just don't have the power. Whoa. Those were slippery. Oh my god. Ooh, this is really painful. Oh! Man.
근데 지금은 박정 선수가 이거를 최소한의 피해로 잡아내면서 바로 연거시 가야 됩니다.
네, 여기서는 박정석 선수가 직접적으로 입은 피해보다도 이 병력들을 막 몰고 가가지고 최현성 선수 시도하고 있는 멀티를 다시 무력화시킬 수 있었다는 거거든요. 근데 최현성 선수 타이밍을 약간 본 게 더 큰 것 같습니다. 지금
이걸 막을 수 있을지는 좀
센터를
의문이거든요.
꽂은대요 최현성.
네, 상대편이랑 같은 박자로 나가면 안 된다는 걸 잘 알고 있습니다. 최현성 선수.
That's what we looked like in 2004.
박정석 선수의 선택은 뚫을 것인가? 스타게이트를 올릴
Such a strange position this game. Oh, carriers once again, 3 games in a row. Love to see it. Well, honestly, that's how the game was played back then too. No one used arbiters. Arbiters were a much more recent addition to Terran vs. Protoss. I mean, there were players that would occasionally get an arbiter or something, and even, you know, I've mentioned it before, the Canadian player Pride was arbiter-based and one of the best foreigners for many years. But really, people didn't know the power of arbiters till much, much later. So not that surprising to see him go pretty gateway heavy, sometimes Sidestorm, sometimes not, into carrier.
네, 1차전 경기, 머큐리에서 경기와 마찬가지로 지금 또 물량전이 이제 나오네요 또.
네. 자, 이 맵은 다 져가던 프로토스 캐리어 나오면 뒤집기를.
It's got really good SCV saturation. Economy looking strong. A lot of supply. By the way, that Protoss guy on the Nexus in the little viewing window, it always looks to me like it's a Protoss with a beard and a mustache, but they aren't supposed to have mouths, right? So what am I really looking at there when they click on a building?
자원 채취하는 뒤쪽에서 공략이 아주 쉽거든요 캐리어로.
그러나 서로 간에 이 프로토스 입장에서 캐리어를 활용한다 그러더라도 지상 유닛으로 밀고 땡기고 약간씩 밀려주면서 여기저기 뭐.
What? There's a shadow exactly in the middle of his mustache and beard, where his mouth goes. Is that right? Okay. That's what we'll go with. Ooh. Look at these goons having a hard time getting over here. My god. Not the best trade. I think Reach had enough. If that was open ground, he would have slaughtered that army. But trying to get over that bridge, his goons just weren't part of the battle. The Zealots did, like, almost okay there. But now that Oov is getting over the bridge... By the way, we never have maps with bridges like these in the center anymore. Because, as you can see, like, if he hadn't thrown away his whole army, you will literally never get over that bridge. It just won't occur. Now, the carriers are here to fight as well, but as a tank siege, you gotta pull back with these goons. Already a carrier falling. It's too bad. If Reach had pulled those units back, this would definitely look like a different game. And all this, don't forget, it was 3 bases and 6 gates against 1 factory, 3 tanks, and turrets on 2 base. And iloveoov battled back to this. That macro. Craziness.
불리함을 극복하기 위해서 11시 그리고 동시에 가운데 쪽에 멀티 이런 판단 때문에 지금 이런 것도 물량 금방 복구한 거죠.
네, 경기를 읽고 기회를 포착하는 감각 그리고 맵을 보는 이해력이 이 맵은 2인용 맵이고 그냥 서로 간에 밀고 밀리는 하나.
Look at this. Comes in, going after the siege tanks here with the carriers. Beautiful, beautiful. The Zealots getting that splash damage on the Goliaths. Look at this, the Goliaths moving back to pick off those carriers. Ooh, he got one. The goons will reign supreme. I'm loving it.
굉장히 잘 활용을 했죠.
Look at this. Pick off those observers. Awesome. That's going to protect his minefield and slow these goons down.
예, 지금 상태에서 12시,
Look at that, expanding to 12?
최현수 선수가 준비 중인데
Dude, I'm getting so inspired watching this.
중요하거든요. 그러면서 동시에 캐리어로
Look at those factories. Oh my god.
좀 적극적으로 지능적으로 활용해야 됩니다.
팩토리 10개 그리고 확장 기지는 마구마구 들어가고
This is good macro. I know it's 2004,
최현성 진짜 예, 굉장하네요.
but that's good macro right there.
4발 8발씩 나가고 있어 최현성.
That's a good amount of factories. It's good factory placement. He's throwing down command centers. The second they're done, he's landing them. Fucking beast mode.
지금 주도권은 최현수 선수에게 넘어갔거든요.
예, 완전히 주고 있죠.
그리고 그 캐리어로 어떤 1차전 먹튀리 때처럼 플레이하기엔 캐리어 숫자가 2기 정도 더 나와야 될 것 같아요.
그리고 하이템플러도 있었기 때문에 탱크 골리앗에 나갔던 박정석인데
예, 이건 분량에서 차이가 꽤 나네요 지금.
엄청난 병력들 쏟아져 나오고 있어요 최현성. 박정석 그 유리한 타이밍에서 한번
지금은 센터를 프로토스가 장악해야 되는데 나가질 못하고 있는 가운데 시간 끌면서 자원 채취 계속
Look at that minefield. Gonna slow him down quite a bit.
마인바 제거하려고 합니다. 마인바.
이번 경기는 최현성 선수가 예,
Good
좀
spread.
어느 정도 여유를 가지고 레이스를 좀 만들어도 괜찮을 것 같습니다. 예.
Not that many carriers. I think that's 5 carriers, if I'm looking correctly. 4 or 5.
박정석 선수 피할 수밖에 없어요. 지금 잔뜩 몰려있는데 판에들 전부 다 최현성 거예요.
저 스타포트는 그냥 아머리에서 업그레이드를 위한 단계에 갔습니다 그냥.
그렇죠. 예, 스타포트에다가 그렇죠. 예, 사이언스 퍼실리티를 지어야 예, 업그레이드를 더 할 수 있죠.
네.
파일럿 파괴해야 돼요.
예, 스스로 부순 거고요. 팔로나는.
네.
Opens up his own pylon wall there for the attack.
그냥 뚫고 들어온답니다. 골리앗 그냥 들어온대요.
Damn, these carriers way out there.
이렇게 플레이하는데 최현 선수
A little bit of a base trade going down now. Look at that Vulture Goliath. Oh my god.
대신 박정선 선수 캐리어
iloveoov. So scary.
병력이 없어요.
엘리전 가야 돼요. 박정선 선수에게 지금 답이 없습니다.
그런데 여기저기 병력이 건물이 많은
This was the scariest stuff ever back then. Like, you'd look at this and be like, how does anyone stop this? He has so many units. And honestly, even watching it right now, I'm getting into it, man. This is...
겐트도 문제가 되거든요.
Like, look at that army. It's just Vulture Goliath. He's just, like, walking forward with it.
자, 나온 병력이 얼마큼 줄수 있는지 박정석
문제는 박정선 선수가 5시 멀티가 날아가면서 본진에서 얼마만큼 병력을 모으느냐인데
이미 남한 병력은 중앙 병력 못 갑니다. 박정석은 그리고 상대편에 나와 있는 병력을 어떻게 잡느냐가 문제야. 본진에서 뽑아내서.
이거는 어떤 순수하게 엘리전이 되더라도 사실 테라이 많이 유리합니다.
최현 선수 빼죠.
아무튼 최현석 그것도 더
This base trade is getting a little bit crazy. So already we saw a Terran base die and a Protoss base. Now the second Terran base will go down. This will... No way to save that. 2 more volleys.
이거 켰세프 깨지죠.
자, 다시 일단 나가요.
못 지키죠 이거.
What?
장군식도 뭐라 그래.
What?
장군식이에요.
Oh!
방해는 진짜 병력이.
That was so low. I can't believe he saved that command center. Oh!
저거는 계속적으로 드래곤이 1.4를 해줬으면 사실 못 지켜요.
병력도 계속
하지만 아직 뭐 박정선
Pair just so in though.
캐리어 숫자가 충분하기 때문에 이거는 뭐 충분히 가능성이 있습니다.
확장기도 계속 견제하고 있습니다. 자, 여기 맞으면서
캐리어
맞으면서 커맨센터를 갱자 못 깼냐? 결국 또 못 깹니까? 커맨센터 못 깼어요. 커맨센터 못 깨고 하나도 못 깼어요.
Did he save that one as well? My god. The repair skills on this man.
못 깼습니다, 박정석. 그 중앙선 이제 시도하지 못했는데 박정석.
그러면서 최현선 선수 압박 늦추지 않죠.
계속 싸워줘야 되거든요. 전선에만 집중 못하게 되면
So difficult to deal with carriers over all these little non-walkable terrains they keep going back and forth. You can see just how abusable they are. We generally don't have any maps that are shaped anything like this at this point.
그 센터가 둘 다 날아갔으면 정말 어떻게 될지 모르는 거였죠.
최현선 선수의 빠른 상황 판단 때문에 경기가
상황 판단도
어렵네요.
상황 판단이고 그 정도 수의 캐리어가 막두드리면 보통 SCB들이 달라붙어 지켜도 수리를 해도 거진 깨지거든요.
그러니까요. 깨지는 분위기였는데 아무튼 결과적으로 안 깨졌어요. 그리고 박정석의 캐리어는 계속 다니면서
That carrier fleet getting so scary, but look at that again. Such a big army.
저 캐리어로 테란의 이 대규모 병력하고 넓은 지역에 싹 남으는 그 순간
Bridges are the perfect place to actually engage this too.
골리앗들은 계속 피해 다니고 계속 도망 다녀야 돼요.
그럼요. 자, 그런데 5시점 확장 기지들.
Reach is barely mining at this point.
박정석 자원줄 거의 다 끊어졌고요. 언덕 뒤밖에 없습니다. 언덕 뒤에 거의 미네랄 색깔이 없어요. 다 떨어졌어요. 박정석 미네랄 이제 못 갑니다. 8시점에서 몰래 시도하고 이게 다예요.
Like, the carrier count is so crazy. I feel like he should dive into the main. There's, like, not much chance for grinding down anything. I think you gotta, like, end him. You gotta kill his production, and then maybe you can kill the army. But if you try to kill the army, he'll just reproduce it too quickly. Okay, gets a comm sat. Okay. Ooh, he found the armories. Nice. Yeah, there's 2 goons here. That's not gonna work out.
좋은 판단입니다. 저 캐리어한테 왜 이렇게 요철이 좀 많은 맵이다 보니까 캐리어한테 그냥 너무 휘둘리게 되면은 어떤 변수가 생길지 모르는 겁니다. 본진을 밀어버리는 게 테란 입장에서 최선이에요, 지금.
자, 바로 미는데요. 바로 밀어요. 자, 커맨드 따라 계속 깨고 있습니다만은 최현성은 상관없이 계속 진군. 진군을 해야 됩니다. 상대편 미네를 못 캐요. 여기 밀면 끝이에요.
서로 간에 엘리전을 해도 박정석 선수가 불리한 상황이고요.
네. 박정석 진짜 엘리 될 수도 있습니다. 쉽게 뒤에 치기 너무 아깝거든요. 끝까지 싸우다 보면
거기다가 맵이
Yeah.
맵이 아니기 때문에 어디
There's nothing left here for Reach. I think we'll be seeing GG in just a second.
거의 안 돼요.
There's enough Goliaths to just slow him down. He'll lose all his buildings. They were showing those 2 pylons, I think, because it's like that's basically what he's going to have left over. If he stays in the game, it's all about going down and killing those pylons. Should be his last 2 buildings left alive.
이번에 다리 쪽에서 한 번 싸움 진짜
시간이 없어요.
네.
이거는 뭐 완전히 기울었네요.
네, 골리앗이 이렇게 많으면 박정 선수 초반에 잘 풀어갔습니다만 결국은 최현성의 철저한 수비에 이은 냉철한 상황 판단. 본진 못다 밀었군요.
자, 이거는 저는 사실 정말 너무도 쉽게 막은 것 같은 분위기 그런 느낌이 좀 들어서 그렇지만 사실 따지고 보면 이게 엄청난 역전승입니다.
11시를 가져간 그 상황 판단, 그 도각 때문에 지금 이긴 거예요, 최현성 선수가.
그리고 중앙에서
Good carrier micro.
막자마자 바로 중앙 치고 5시 밀고.
일단 그 언덕에다가 게이트웨이 짓고 막 이렇게 도발한 것도
Alright, gets that command center.
대응하지 않으면 그대로 밀릴 수 사실이 있는 거였고
So he's going back to his main to clear out the units in there. That'll buy him a little bit of time, but yeah, I mean, that's just so many Goliaths. I don't know why you're targeting siege tanks right now.
최현성이 이기는 것 쪽으로 왠지 모를 여러 가지 상황들이 이게 조합이 되거든요. 그리고 전체적으로 보더라도 박정석의 붉은색 자만 거의 없어요. 자원도 못 캐고 있고 캐리어가 답니다. 전쟁하네요.
이제는 뭐 이 캐리어가 유일하죠.
네. 골리앗과 정면 대결에서 이길
This is especially a moment where you want to target the interceptors down. Just any damage, because he can't, you know, he probably can't even build any more interceptors at this point. I imagine he's probably completely out of minerals.
운영을 잘하면은 캐리어를 보유한 쪽이 오히려 이길 때도 있습니다. 근데 지금은 테란 역시 캘 수 있는 자원이 없을 때이거든요, 지금 그거는.
인터셉터 채울 미네랄도 없어요, 이제.
이 최현성 선수는 2 군데서 계속적으로 미네랄 채취를 하고 있기 때문에.
Single zealot guarding the probes.
네. 그렇죠. 인터셉터도 이제 재장전이 안 될 겁니다.
GG. 2-1 for iloveoov. That was a cool game. That was a cool game. Don't forget that started with the double proxy gate, the Zealot popping out, Reach on 3 base with an overwhelming advantage, and iloveoov just like calmly takes more bases. Macros up like crazy. Awesome game. All right, let's play what came in during there real quick.
Malak 224 cheered. X300, just to let the chat know about the age of this game. Artosis was young and happy at 20 years of age. I was 12 years old and still playing on dial-up. While Artosis was a virgin until 30, that's not relevant. Why would you bring that up, chat? At this time, no boob existed. No Corurb. No Mario Erotica. It was a simple time.
It was a simple
now
time.
Artosis is an angry 38-year-old boomer who relives the glory days of a 240-year-old game.
Not lying.
Wants more games? Babarage donated $3.33. Are we watching the next series after this set is done? I wanna watch more games because I need Artosis ASMR entertainment while watching old game. Also, chat, what would Artosis VTuber model look like, you woo?
So no, we're just doing this series, and then I'm going to play more ladder. If people really enjoy this, we can do it occasionally. But yeah, this is just kind of like, I figure, you know what? This is StarCraft's 24th year. Let's watch my favorite series, because people ask me about this series all the time, so it's like just kind of a fun time. We'll go into the next game in just a second. See Maddox in there. Hey, man. Good to meet you yesterday. You did a great job. Thank you much. Yes, and it is free YouTube content. That's certainly correct. You're definitely right about that. This will be going up on YouTube. These are fun. All right. We're going to go ahead and mute those TTS once again. And we'll start the next game in just a second.
I am dating a dad cheered. X300, in your opinion, what were some of the biggest match play style changes? For instance, you mentioned it took a while for arbiters to come in effect.
Yeah. Well, the speed of expansions definitely was a big thing. Obviously, arbiters joining the metagame, huge in this matchup. I think one of the biggest changes we had overall was the speed of defiler rushes. The speed with which you get out defilers at this point negates a lot of tank openers, which was the standard for many years. Yeah, there's been so many countless changes. The game has just played so differently at this point. And that's not to say you can't learn things. Like, looking at this, I'm really inspired. I can't wait to get back on the ladder after a couple more games. Because it's just amazing games in there. By the way, thank you guys for the subs. G. Treves, Nihil, Potsy Hookman, Hydrogen, Ninja Mega Man, Tornus, what's up, dude? Thank you. Droogie, thank you, buddy. Year and a half now. Aces 10 with the gifted sub. Ace Acel Foley, thank you for 19 months. Bambles, welcome back. Lenig, thank you much. All right, let's go ahead and mute this, and we will go into the next game. All right. So, this is game number 4. This is Requiem. Okay? Reach is down 1-2. Requiem is a very funny map. It's got a cross of minerals in the center, right? So it's kind of like a very artsy map in a lot of ways. But it's a low ground main base map, which we do not get many of. The only recent, the most recent map that we've had like this would be Gladiator. But maps like this are generally considered quite broken. The amount of pressure that you can put, I guess in the way of an Eddy, actually is the most recent map, now that I'm kind of thinking about it. And that map was alright, but they're generally considered a little bit broken because containments on the top of the ramp are so strong. They really ruin PvP, and you can definitely see, like, if Protoss gains control of that high ground area, it's almost impossible to push out as Terran. So it was very common to have people do Zealot rushes on this map. And followed up with Mass Range Goon. And you can see, look, he's even setting up a wall. He's putting an SCV on the ramp to check for anything coming in. But it's clear that iloveoov is planning on walling here to stop a Zealot rush. Which is not something that you ever see anymore. It's super rare to see any sort of wall. And of course, Dragoons can abuse a wall like that very easily as well. But it is good against a Zealot rush.
어쨌든 이 맵에서의 프로토스가 가지고 있는 초반의 유리함이라 본다면 원질럿과 함께 사업 드래곤으로 입구 뚫기.
So there is the SCV finding that probe. The probe finding the SCV.
예, 프로토스가 주도권 가지고 갈수
iloveoov making his wall right now.
플레이를 하더라도 그걸 잘 막아내고 이기는 테란이 대표적으로 뭐 차재욱, 최은성 이래요. 그런데 차재욱 선수한테도 또 박정수 선수 한번 이긴 했죠.
네. 자, 프로브 두기
The
들어갔어요.
double probe harassment.
아, 컨트롤 싸움이고요.
Notice iloveoov's pro gamer move of his SCV going on the inside there for a moment.
경우에 원질러 드래곤으로 입구 뚫기가 수월해지거든요.
This is really painful, but if your SCV keeps moving to the inside, it's not as bad.
신경전 잡아냈고.
Oh god, he's going with the cannons.
언덕에 발로가 되고 있습니다.
야, 이게 이 어떻게 보면은 진짜 돌고
And the SCV pops out on the outside, so already he's down 2 or 3 SCVs. Oh, this is brutal.
다시 오는데 이거 뭔가 낌새를 눈치챘나요?
네. 자, 지금 위쪽에
SCV 있지
자,
않습니까?
이것도 전진 캐논 이맵 나왔을 때 극초반에 나왔던 그런 상황이었는데 그런 전략이거든요.
그렇죠. 예.
Yeah, so the Zealot cannon rush here, I mean, you're going to break in that so quickly.
첫 공식전이
You can see how problematic a map like this can be.
정말 한 달, 두 달은 앞서 나간 경기였었거든요.
And don't forget, cannons outrange bunkers. So even if you try to make a bunker defensively, the cannon will still wreck you.
파악만 하면 SCV 데리고 나면 이게 막히거든요.
자, 그런데 그때 또 헬스베드로 최우성은 잘 막았어요. 잘 막고 치면 바로 뚫렸는데 박정석은 뭔가 다른 게 있으니까 하겠죠.
일단 캐논 완성됐죠 지금.
네, 캐논 완성됐고요. 자, 공격 시작하고 있을 겁니다. 현재 최우성이 경기되고 나오죠. 최우성 얼굴 표정 조금도 안 변해요.
그렇죠. 예, 베럭스.
Look, he's trying to find an angle that he can repair that from. It's actually really nicely done.
캐논을 더 짓지는 않는군요.
Scouting, seeing what's what.
이렇게만 묶고만 놓겠다는
This is tough. This is real tough. He adds a second factory. I wonder, is he going to make a vulture out of that?
가스채치까지 또 동시에 들어가는 거 보니까 진력 캐논의 어떤 올인 작전은 아닌 것 같습니다.
Another gateway? Oh my god.
결국 유닛으로
But like if you go vulture here,
예, 드래곤 생산
you can like stop any cannons from being built on low ground at least.
깨지는 분위기는 지금은요. SB 잡히고 그래서 수비력이 떨어지는데 또다시
But no one ever built vultures out of a factory without an add-on generally back in that time, but it looks like he did.
SB 잡았고
베럭스 들어야죠.
그러면서 동시에 드래곤 생산 이것을 한 번 더 생각한 거예요 박정석
네,
선수가.
안쪽으로 들어오죠.
질럿만 단다는 것은 질럿 캐논만 가는 것은 벌초에 막힐 수 있기 때문에.
Now look at that. Watch his vulture run away. This shows you how much better people are at micro nowadays. Any good Terran would just go right after those, and the Zealots would probably just run away because one vulture will wreck them. Look, he puts it behind the mineral patches, so he's trying to use some tactics here to take them out. So we don't see the practiced flick shot.
지금 드래곤 두 기만 추가돼도 최현 선수 못 막을 수
문제는
있습니다.
시간이 갑니다. 이제 나오겠는데요.
질럿들 괜히 SCB 잡으려고 그렇게 막 너무 무리하지도 않죠.
네.
개수만 목회게 하면 사실 됩니다.
그리고 지금 드래곤 기다리고 있는데.
I don't remember exactly when the patrol micro for vultures was made. I honestly just don't remember what the date was, but I guess it was after this point because, I mean, one vulture destroys three zealots right now so hard it's not even close. And look at this, mass range dragoons coming in now against 3 vultures. You don't have a chance.
공격 들어가죠.
진짜 수비에 진짜 어떤 최강의 수비를 자랑하는 최현석 이거가 너무 정말 좋은데.
Nice drill there. My God. Ooh, that was a nice pullback. He's actually doing pretty darn well.
그렇죠. 그리고 사실 강민 선수가 예전에 그 이맵에서 최현석 선수하고 할 때 질럿들에게 확 난입했을 때 그것도 사실 못 막는 게 정상현 씨한테 맞긴 했었거든요.
개발하는 것은 혹시 벌처의 스파이더마인인가요? 아니면 스파이더마인일 가능성이 크죠.
글쎄요. 좀 더 지켜보겠습니다. 근데 지금 벌처가 몇 개 안 달라붙어 드라곤 3개 있는데
One thing that should be mentioned as well, guys, is the latency back here. This is basically turn rate 16 for anyone that actually plays Broodwar. So a little bit different. Can't micro quite as well as you can nowadays. Remastered made it a smoother connection. This was land. Land was turn rate 16 back then.
그 바로 전 예, 비프로스트 3의
아,
모습을
이거는
박정선
최현성
선수.
선수 표정. 아, 이건 어렵다는 겁니다.
Mine's going down, but all the SCVs dying.
이렇게 별로 없고.
예, 막더라도 일꾼이 너무 많이 나겠어요, 지금.
그것도 그렇고.
GG. Look at that. iloveoov. Not too happy with that game. Requiem was a very, very, very tough map. It didn't stay in rotation for that long, if I recall correctly. It was a brutal map to play as Terran. So that brings us to game number 5. This series has really had it all at this point. Just play the ones that were lost in there.
Jike 970 donated $3. Hello, iloveoov. You could have finished this noob toss right there, but you let him come back. Was it overconfidence? Was it lack of scouting? Was it lack of micro? OV? Stop playing on one base.
Thank you for that great analysis of 2004.
Drexio808 cheered. X300, happy birthday Starcraft. We've come a long, long way together, through the bad times and the good. I've got to celebrate you, baby. I've got to praise you like I show you'd. Name Aero 5 cheered. X300, your encyclopedic knowledge of this 24-year-old game is impressive. Thanks for the entertainment.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've given my life to it for most of those 24 years.
X300, what is the worst map overall, for any race, that was universally hated by all?
What was the worst map overall for any race that was universally hated by all? Sparkle? Sparkle was truly hilarious. That's the first one that comes to mind. I'll think about it some more though. Thank you guys. We'll mute the TTS and get into the next game.
Malak 224 cheered. X300, Artosis. Why do you have a square water bottle? Can South Korea not manufacture a normal water bottle? Fucking weird, dude. Also, we need to go back to these shitty optimized maps. I want to see you expand.
To these shitty optimized maps? You mean like the maps we have nowadays? The maps are certainly better now. No question. Yeah, like, I mean, you saw that map. You saw how that went down. There was, like, a lot of championships that were stolen from people because of map pools. A really notable one was, I think it was actually maybe the OSL after this one, or a couple after this one. It ended up being won by Casey, a Terran player. But Yellow should have won. It just had the most imbalanced map ever.
So now that we've seen some games, Butter is the best new map, right? It's like a small map when you want it to be, and then it gets so big for the macro.
It is pretty good. It seems it, but I don't think we've seen enough games to say yet. All right, I think we're ready, guys, for game number 5. Here we go. Game number 5. Back to the first map. It is Mercury once again. There's Reach in that bottom center position like he was, or that bottom rightish position like he was before. And here's iloveoov in a much closer position now. He was at the top position in map 1. This was the standard way to do best of 5s back in Star Leagues back then. Every season would have 4 maps. And you would use the first map on game 5. That was completely standard. I actually really liked it like that back then. having exactly 4 maps to practice for every tournament, WCG was like that as well, was really cool because you could dive so deeply into the maps. Whereas nowadays, you know, we have like, there's probably 10-ish maps that are used in tournaments consistently right now, so you have to have, like, you can't go quite as deep in any one.
양 선수의 성향 이렇게 어떤 이 뭐 성격과 이런 품성과 이런 거를 생각을 했을 때는 1경기처럼 이 5경기도 완전히 물량전 해서
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I kind of do miss the smaller map pools. It was very fun every year when WCG would come out. You have 4 maps. You're like, okay, I'm going to play 1,000 games on every map, you know, and like know everything about every pixel. Wow, the probe gets in on a 4-player map before the barracks is done, and he steals the gas. Insanity. Insanity. I used to pause games back in 2004 and swear at my opponent when they stole my gas. Actually, I haven't changed very much, but it's like we've come a long way with how to deal with these gas steals. But yeah, that's painful when the probe on a 4-player map is in your base before you start your barracks. And he was making a wall. Like, he didn't want that to happen. Look at that. 5 making it. Now, in this day and age, like, first off, you have to put an SV on top so that you can instantly make your barracks. I mean, your refinery. But he should be trying very hard to get down here and remake the assimilator. Oh! Oh my god! The utter pain of this. Look at iloveoov. He's like, well, I guess I'm not winning this Star League. It's crazy. Oh my god, a 3rd one! She's just like me. She's like, ah, 3rd one! It's crazy. Oh, he was so close. iloveoov is so lucky he got that probe. Woo. My god. Okay, so, like, I just glanced at the time. It's like 3 minutes, 10 seconds. So that was delayed by about a minute and 25 seconds. Minute 15, minute 25 seconds. That was delayed. That's a huge amount of time. That's the amount of time it takes to make a factory, make the add-on, and your tank is a 1/3 of the way done, basically. That is how slowed that was. And yes, this is game 5 in a best of 5 that has already been so close and so well contested. I got chills, man. I got tears forming in my eyes. Craziness from Reach to open this up.
물론 어떤 선수가 한 시대를 휘어잡다가도 뭐 그것이 영원하진 않습니다. 항상 그렇긴 해요. 근데 지금 당장 지금 현재 최현성 선수의 어떤 느껴지는 이 어떤 이 강력함이란 거는 정말 장난이 아닙니다.
네, 오늘 경기를 통해서 더욱더 입증이 됐어요. 지금 2대 타이 지우고 현재 지금 쉽진 않습니다만 최현성.
문제는 최현성 선수가 이 타이밍에 선택해야 될 것이 그냥
So 2-gate range. I'm seeing that a lot in this series.
아니면 뭐 박한익이 됐든지. 근데 정상적으로는 지금 프로토스의 박정 선수가 너무나도
All the donuts will go afterwards, guys.
세 번째 경기 B+3에서도 조타가 최현성이 결국은 뒤집었거든요.
네,
오늘 경기 어떨지.
네, 박정석 선수도 저 이렇게 게스러시라든지 이런 데 좀 많이.
All right, so he's actually made a lot of Marines, which obviously this is going to be a pretty normal thing to do. He actually has 1 more SCV mining gas than he needs. That, when the geyser's on top of the command center, you definitely only need 3, so it's surprising to see 4 there.
이거는 드래곤 드라이브를 아무리 잘하더라도 드래곤 2기 가지고는 저 머리를 상대할 수 없었고 3기가 되면은 아무래도 드래곤들의 사정거리가 업그레이드가 된 상태이기
Okay,
때문에
yeah. So he's going to pull back behind the barracks with the Marines. He doesn't want them to just all get shaved down, which is what will happen with the range goons. So he might end up like losing a building here, but he's trying to get siege, I think, really quickly to push these back. Or even just a siege tank with that many Marines, you can push back 3 range goons. But as more goons come, you actually do need the siege. Like 5 goons up here, yeah, you can't do that.
자, SB 또 1모터에 나옵니다. 1모터가 나옵니다. SB 계속 하나 또 잡고요. 자, 드라군이 계속 모여들고.
이거 베럭스가 됐든 서프라이즈 포가 됐든 이거 파괴되면
네.
위기입니다.
정하면
이거
광고를
거의 지나가 갑자기 바꿔가지고.
Oh, he can't. He has to lift it to get the repair surface area. It's so funny. Look at this now. 6. Oh, dude. He breaks the barracks. There's only one factory, I think, for iloveoov. It takes 50 seconds to make a new barracks, and he hasn't started a command center. This is a terrible position. This is terrible.
아, 그래도 이거 무리해서는 안 됩니다. 머리의 숫자가 지금 있기 때문에
Reach has lost one unit.
무리해서는 안 돼요.
드라군도 추가하거든요.
He just killed the racks and the... Oh my god, she's telling someone over the phone about it. That's how crazy it is. She called her mom.
다시 한번 막습니다만 둘 다 깨진 상태.
지금 상태에서 제가 볼 때는 최현수 선수가 본진 자원만으로 승부 보는 것은 사실
Look at that, gonna force a cancel. Oh my god.
자, 탱크 때문에.
Oh, that's a little overextension. He's getting a little bit rabid right now.
못 들어가요.
드래곤을 한
Now, in the modern time, if you got a position like this, you would insta-make a Nexus. Just throwing that out there. We see that Reach is adding a third gate and a robo. He smells weakness. Okay.
후방에 병력을 배치하고 있어요.
지금 사실 박정석 선수가 꽤 많이 유리한 거거든요. 그래도
Starport Academy. What are we gonna see here? Dude, if he does like a marine drop, like imagine if he gets stim here and goes marine drop. I think that actually would not be bad here at all. You'd have to start stim like right now though to line it up. Check the academy, check the academy.
계속 그 틈을 벌리고 있어요.
최현성이라고 한다면은 충분히 상황 뒤집을 수 있습니다.
네, 드랍십이 지금 변수고 프로토스의 박정희 선수는 지금 이 타이밍에 멀티 가져갈 필요성이 있는데 이 앞마당 멀티를 안 가져가나요?
What's that?
조여만 놓고 확장을 안 합니다 현재.
네, 어쨌든 드랍십이 최현선 선수에게는 어떤 정말 생명줄이네요.
네, 물론 박정석이 그렇기 때문에 본진 쪽의 병력을 일부를 분산시켜 놨습니다.
Yes, guys, you're so clever. Okay, I have seen the series before. I know who wins. I don't remember the games. I haven't watched this series in like 15 years.
박정석 아직 확장을 안 합니다. 병력만 계속 뽑고
But
있어요.
definitely watching it, I'm so smart to remember this is my favorite series. It's such a good series.
정말 이거 진짜 최현성 선수 진짜 수비 능력은 정말 이묘한 선수도 수비 진짜 잘하고 이제 수비를 잘하는 것 때문에 이렇게 떴지 않습니까? 이묘한 선수는 저그전의 수비는 진짜 센데
예, 4벌초 드랍이죠.
네, 자 그런데
Okay, let's see. Dropship, dropship.
이 정도 강.
I think the observer may have seen that.
사실 봤다고 봐야 맞는 건데
Ah, it's just vulture drops outside. Oh, he's laying mines behind the goons, so he's going to come out and try to push the goons into the mines. It's a great move, of course. Command center. Observer staying alive.
지금 여기에 탄 유닛들은
Is Reach just going to clear the mines?
서버가 지금 리본가요 혹시?
자 박정석 선수
Guys, I'm looking at this position for Reach, okay? And I know what happens, but maybe us rewatching this all together right now changes history, and our brains are going to get rewired because Reach is going to take this down.
상대가 최현성 선수다 보니까 박정석 선수도 진짜 조심스럽게 합니다.
이번 경기 지면 바로 끝입니다. 확장 가져가네 박정석 앞마당도.
한 템포 느린 리버인데 지금 아직
Nexus
선보이지
coming up,
않고 있고요.
okay.
네. 그리고 마인 대비해야 됩니다. 드랍시 격투. 자 반대쪽에서 받아줄 병력은 자 있긴 있거든요.
정말 두 선수 살 떨립니다. 아슬아슬해요.
드랍시
It's a
먼저
good goon right there.
셔틀이
근데 리버
지금 최현수 선수의 본진에 지금 리버 대비가 되어 있습니까?
최현석 본대 리버 모르. 자 셔틀 플레이 맞게. 병력은 있고 병력은 있어요.
이게 박정석 선수가 최현성 선수가 사실은 한 방이다라고 생각을 하면서 한 방 러시를 밀고 나올 수 있는 거고 또 지금처럼 멀티를 하고 나서 사실 병력이 분산될 수가 있는 거 아닙니까? 약간 기다린 것 같아요.
저 리버가
Now, we're about to have a Reaver drop. I don't know what he has for anti-air. Like, I know he has a starport. I don't think he made a Wraith. And I know he has an eBay, but I don't know how many turrets. Okay, there's a turret.
중요한 건 오늘 리버는 말을 잘 들을지 지켜봐야죠.
탱크 있고.
Oh, that's...
질럿이랑 드래곤 하나 떨구고 리버로 SC를 강전태.
아, 일반 불발됐던 불발되겠죠?
Dud.
불발 좋아요, 최현성 입장에서.
그렇죠. 예, 지금 안 그래도 초반에 피해가 큰데 이 리버까지 추가 타격 받으면 힘들어지죠.
예, 기회가 사라지는 거고 어쨌건 멀티를
오히려 자, 역으로 역벌쳐. 자, 멀티
근데
세개.
발 빨라요. 드래곤 있죠.
네, 그리고 뭐.
Alright, finally gets his vulture drop in. He's been looking for this for a while. Doesn't look like he'll get too much, though. What do we get? 4 probes? Not terrible if you kept the dropship alive.
아, 이 경기 이게 또 쉽게는.
네, 근데 이거 멀티가 돌아오면서 물론 가스 멀티는 아니긴 합니다만 박정석 선수도 좀 위기를 느껴야 합니다.
이러고 있는 와중에 박정석 선수가 그 앞마당 멀티 말고도 멀티 한 군데를 더 시도를 했었는데
2시를 시도를 하려다가
SB가 잡혔죠,
실패했죠.
멀쳐에. 자, 애가 푸는 거네.
멀티 타임이 늦다면은 리버로 타격을 주던가 그게 아니면 이제 멀티라도 빨리 가져가야 되는데 지금 이거는 거의 돌파를 시도하려는 듯한 분위기거든요.
최현성이 많이 쫓아왔어요.
왜냐하면 이대로 두면 그 비프로스트에서의 교훈이 있지 않습니까?
리버 2기도 살아있고
아무리 초반에 차이가 좀 났더라도 최현성 선수는 자원을 딱 먹고 그 자원을 단기간 내에 엄청나게 빠른 속도로 쓰면서 단기간 내에 병력을 그냥 폭발시키는 병력을 추가해야 되거든요.
박정석 선수가 예전에 개마고원에서 펼쳐졌던 앞마당 뚫기 굉장히 잘하는 선수거든요.
자, 힘으로 뒤에 안 치고 리버의 화력전 앞에서 화력전 안에서 그냥 뚫어버릴 겁니까? 다리 넘고.
나는 머린들이 있어가지고.
그나마 다행인 것은
It's still a very weird-looking game right here, right? Because he's only on 1 gas. So it's like very, very vulture heavy. Feels like the Reaver tech was a very smart move from Reach. Reaver is a very mineral heavy tech. And you need a lot of gas to counter it correctly if you're moving out, with ranged Goliaths and siege tanks. Feels very good for Reach right here. I mean, iloveoov isn't dead or anything, obviously.
이제 벌처 추가되기 시작했어요.
박정석 선수의 판단이 지금 중요한데.
네, 최현성 선수는 이쯤 참았으면 이제 한번 슬슬 나가볼 때도 된 것 같기도 하고요. 네, 벌처가 확실히 더 추가되게 기다리는 건가요?
글쎄, 안 나갑니다. 박정석도 들어가지 않았고.
워낙 조심스러워요. 그 정도는 지금 마지막 경기이기 때문에 섣부른 판단 안 하죠.
네, 그리고 추가 확장은 없습니다.
근데 결국 중장 기전으로 가야 된다면은 사실 하나의 멀티를 더 가져가야 되거든요.
안 뚫을 거면
아니면 끌어치지
Oh, wrecked.
그게 아니라면
That's like a weird place for Reach's army to be right there. Good catch. iloveoov definitely did not expect that. And the Reavers, yeah, nice containment here, just picking off some vultures as they come out. Goons moved in position. Look at that. Oh, that's such a... It's so hard to kill Reavers with vultures. To this day, you can't really do that.
길을 여는 유닛이거든요. 근데 그 벌처들을 두 개의 리버로 제압했다는 거. 이건 놀랍네요.
안 들어가는 이유는
Oh, I like that base. That's a good expansion to take. That's like so far away to attack. It seems like iloveoov is like... I think his play is to take that like 9 o'clock base right below those dragoons, right? Slowly push out there, take that, and then you've choked the map kind of in half. And the push distance to Reach's main is not that far. And his counterattack distance is really, really, really far. I think this map was much better cross-spawn. I'm looking at these spots, and like, if you get even against Protoss here, it seems like you get a big advantage. Unless there's carriers, of course, abusing the center.
정말 단단하게 전진을 잘해주고 있죠.
네.
근데 이 드랍십 위험하죠?
드랍십, 드랍십! 갈 데가! 그래도 오늘 최현성.
네, 그래도 일부의 병력을 드랍십 때문에 뒤로 빼게 했다는
Alright, there he goes. Choking up this area. A lot of goons up there. Just leave them. Just lay some mines. Throw down a turret. Leave a couple tanks. And those units have to walk way around.
조금 더 시간 벌기로 한 건가요?
진짜 먹기로해서 1경기는 진짜 서로 간에 어제도 준비한 이후에 엄청나게 그냥 쉬지 않고 치고 왔더니 이 경기는 지금 긴장감이 그냥
캐리어가 아니라면 지금 정도의 게이트웨이로는 소모전 펼쳐서는 프로토스가 힘듭니다.
잠깐 그럼 또 어디서 뭐 짓고 있나요? 내려오죠. 자, 박정석은 병력이 분산돼 있어요. 현재 최현성 한 방향. 박정석이 군사대 병력 돌아서 지원해주기로 뒤를 안 쳐요.
그래도 셔틀 떨구게 지금 안 됩니다.
네.
벌처가 많아요.
Look at this push.
자, 한 군데로 몰아오고 있죠.
You are not holding this with gateway units. You have to have Psystorm here. 100%. Okay, there's some, but it's only one High Templar. That's not enough. That's what he gets for Scarabs.
위쪽에서도 지금 싸우고 있거든요. 박정석 선수가.
God, this push is so scary.
경력 진짜 많습니다.
자, 하이템플러가 아직까지 제목도 못하고 있는 지휘.
Tries to come in with that flank. Yeah, that flanking army just didn't do anything.
발휘할 때까지 참는 수밖에 없어요. 병력을 지금 많이
Getting cleaned up very, very easily.
공중유지 그러면서 공중유지 지는 것도 저 만화 잔뜩 채우고 있습니다. 아래쪽에서 템플러 계열이.
아, 게이트웨이가 지금 턱없이 부족해요.
근데 지금 최현성 선수도 앞마당을
자기 머리에 쏠 수밖에 없을 정도로 하이템플러 하나도 못 건질 수 있다고 생각하죠.
앞마당을 먹기 위해서 안 밀고 나올 수가 없었던 게 최현성 선수 본진자가 다 떨어졌고요. 박정석
네.
선수 역시 마찬가지입니다만.
자, 이번 탱크가 시즈 안 하고 그냥 내려오거든요.
이것이
근데 벌처들이 너무 없고 탱크밖에 없고 지금.
자, 그리고 자체는
Good old punk punk mode here.
여기서 리버 하나 깨는 거.
Oh, that was an insane Scarab right there.
자, 리버 한 방 더.
Oh my God. Ridiculous Scarabs. Oh my God.
자, 그렇지 않았다면 그리고 약간의
And Reach pushes him back as easy as that.
최현 선수의 두 번째 가운데 확장 기지까지 가져간 상태 소모전은 프로토스 박정 선수에게 아무런 도움이 안 되거든요. 그러니까 뭔가 지금 이 멀티를 밀던가 그게 아니면 캐리어라도 가든가 그 선택을 해야 돼요.
자, 지금 병력 충원 정도 어느 정도 거예요, 테란이?
테란이
이게
훨씬
다인가요, 지금?
근데 테란이 훨씬 앞섭니다.
꽤 많습니다, 지금.
자, 금방금방 나오고 있어요. 자, 박정석의 병력은 왜 이렇게 물량이 안 터집니까? 확정이 더 가져가야 되는.
게이트웨이가 너무 부족해요. 지금 이거는 지금 6개로는 지금 팩토리 숫자가 엄청나죠.
네. 그 자원도 별다른 어려움이 없고 자원 캐는데도 또 내려옵니다. 최현성. 앞서서는 막았습니다만 이번에 어떨지.
이거는
Yeah, Reach doesn't have a whole lot left here.
하이템플러가 맞거든요. 근데 아래쪽에서 자, 드라군도 있고 자, 리버 하나 살았고 리버 전사 한번
Oh my God.
탱크 체력이 좀
Just pulls it all together. Just as I think he's dead. He's like, nah, no problem, watch this.
네, 가자 벌써 또 와요. 벌써 또 와요.
Oh, but so many vultures coming down now.
진짜 엄청나고 장악했어요.
아무래도 사이닉스 다크 템플러.
God, I gotta play some Starcraft. This is getting me so pumped.
드래곤도 역시 개스를 먹는 유닛 아니겠습니까?
이건 속도계는 한 분기 정도는 무시하고 공격해도 되죠.
네. 그래도 또 어떻게든 막 간신히 막았어요.
최은선 선수 또 멀티 가져가죠. 11시죠.
네.
Some concerned Reach fans there in the audience.
좋은 상태입니다. 또 저희 보고 좀 실현적인지 알아서 좋은 상태예요.
정말
소강 상태이더라도
주위 선수들이 평하는 정말 괴물입니다.
네. 소강 상태라 하더라도 끊임없이 싸우고 있죠. 장교도 날아가면서 잘 싸우고 최현석.
Nice drag. I like it.
이 탱크를 꾸준히 야금야금
Reach has expanded in that kind of bottom rightish area, but I don't think he has probes there yet.
지금은 지상 유닛이 없기 때문에 지상 유닛을 계속
iloveoov taking the counter to that, like the top leftish base.
최은선 선수가 유리한 상태죠.
자, 서로 지금 확장 기지는 비슷하게 가져가는데 지상병력 자신이 있거든요, 최현성.
근데 최현성 선수는 이 7시 지역에서 박정석 선수의 그 앞마당을 언덕 너머에서 좀 탱크를 좀 사용할 수도 있는데.
He's actually almost being too fancy with the mines. Just attacking in, you kill all the zealots quicker.
탱크가 오면 문제가 되죠 이제.
네. 드라군 아래쪽에 많습니다만은 하이템플러 추가 안 되고 저 자리 잡히면 저 자리 주면 병력 충원되고 하면 확장 기자 본질 끊겨요. 박정석 허리 끊깁니다.
지상 유닛만으로 승부를 보기엔 좀 게이트웨이 숫자 너무 부족해요.
And this is the beginning and the end right here. That minefield plus a turret plus the tanks outside. This base can get taken out. The other base can get taken out. The vultures can just raid everything. And Reach is going to be too slow moving out with everything.
자, 이 정도 멀쩌면 자, 캐논으로 타격을 줍니다만은
그나마 캐리어라도 지금 뭐 딱 하고 3기 정도 나와준다면 이 위기를
Reach can try to break out that contain, it looks like.
거기다가 자신의 입구를 탱크 병력 위주로 하고 장악을 하고 있기 때문에
I like the DT drop.
일단은 뚫는 게 급선무예요.
Yeah, look at that position. It's really hard to get into.
곳곳에 많이 깔렸고.
최현성 선수가 뭐 11시 지역의 그 멀티 거의 이제 완성됐을 텐데 일꾼들 좀 옮겨야죠.
예, 조금 아쉬운 생각이 예, 초반에 최현석 선수의 입구를 막고 있었을 때 확장 기지를 하나 더 빨리 가져가던가 예, 그런 판단이 좀 아쉽습니다.
네. 자, 이제 박준 선수.
네, 박정석 선수도 5시 지역을 지금 또 예.
근데 지금 멀티 숫자가 중요한 게 아니라 지금 이 정도까지 밀고 내려왔다는 거랑 프로토스의 유닛이 모인 게 없다는 게
네.
지금 박정 선수가 암울한 거죠.
그렇죠. 예, 프로토스 입장에서 가장 전략적 요충지라고 할 수 있는 예, 6시 지역의 이 여기
Yeah, what is this? The only game without carriers
병 주둥이
from
같은
the series?
경우는,
No, I guess
예,
the Requiem game didn't have it.
여기를
No real
테란에게
position to go there this game. And I think this is it right here. Like, this break is not even going to come close. I think that's going to be GG. Few DTs. Oh my god, that storm is ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh my god. DT kills 4 tanks. Blink of an eye. Oh, he doesn't have Goliath range.
예, 세 군데나 있습니다만 자원 채취가 제대로 되는 데가 지금 한 군데도 없어요.
그 자원이 거의 다 곧 떨어질 수밖에 없습니다.
그런 거의 없죠.
네.
이에 반해서 최현석 선수는 뭐 안전하고
Yeah, you see the resignation in his face. Looks very, very sad. Obviously, he practiced so hard for this and put out. That was, I think, basically the best played macro PvT series that we had seen to this point. It's just iloveoov was the bone draw. He was the best player in the world by a big margin. But Reach really standing toe-to-toe against him in this series, I think. Just an awesome, awesome series. Nothing really left for him. He's barely mining. A couple probes here and there, that's it. Trying to make something happen, but I mean, Oov has like 2 bases mining. He has like another one on the way.
아, 너무 많아요.
이걸로 그냥 밀어치면은 본진에서 막히는 힘을 예, 저 셔틀은 뭐 태우고 있었던 리버는 뭐 당했던 것 같고 이게 그렇죠, 최현성. 그렇죠. 본진, 굳이 본진 밀고 들어갈 필요가 뭐가 있습니까? 자원도 없는데.
그렇죠.
네, 마지막 자원 지역을 쓰는 게 제일 중요해요.
그러니까 나와서 마인 제거하느라고 벽까지 다 들어맞아요.
All right, the final breakout for sure this time. GG. Oops, Reach, ladies and gentlemen. God tier man toss. Craziness. Wow. And iloveoov takes him down. That is my favorite series ever played. I think it's amazing. Gypsy in the chat with a garbage. All right. Thank you, Gypsy. Hope you guys enjoyed that. iloveoov did go on to win the tournament over Boxer. I love that series. My God. Okay, let's see. Which ones did we miss?
The MPS2 packs donated $3. When you face Buccaneer, or a stream snipper, you should play these kind of matches just to throw them off. LOL. Peace. What? The real Apotheosis 92 donated $20.
Hey, thanks, man. Cheers.
Is this the best match ever? What's the
In my
tourney
opinion.
and matchup, etc.?
What's the...
Happy birthday Starcraft donated $3.33.
Yeah.
Hi Artie. Does Tasteless take literal notes when you fill him in on the current Protoss meta, or explain how Protoss units work during the ASL casts?
You should. Yeah, that was OSL 2004 ever OSL round of 4 Reach versus iloveoov. My favorite match ever. Apotheosis. Thank you.
224 cheered. X300. We only see the gas steal on Eclipse with Artosis. We bet on it. We expect it, but goddamn. 3 gas steals. I think Artosis would quit at that point. This man has balls of steel, because he's only mining minerals, not gas. Would you have seen these kind of plays in modern professional games?
People block it now.
Cheered.
The 3 gas steal. You don't let them get the second one
anymore. Look at all
anymore.
those beautiful ladies in the crowd. I won't lie to you, I had high hopes Starcraft would be the game that had put us nerds at the top of the dominance hierarchy. The girls have left and the good times are behind. What? Oh my crab. Donated $3.33. Mamma mia, exclaimed Peach, as Bowser vigorously compressed her spinal cord. Mario watched, with shame and pain on his face, and a monstrous erection in his pants. Mario could not look away. He timed his crowd bed to match Bowser's. What? Fangirl Observer donated $3.33. You know, a lot of things change over the years, but fangirls for esports personalities or teams never really go away. Case in point, the entire Runaway fanbase when they finally won an Overwatch championship in 2018. Some things never change.
Oh, cool.
Malak 224 cheered. X300, here you see the obvious Terran disappointment. Like betting on a horse with one leg, they still try to hope. Terran is the horse with one leg. They can't make anything happen but still try. Why do they keep a one-legged race in? They can't even stand up. Artosis can't make it big because he plays Terran. It's sad.
So true.
Grand Fina 1 he cheered. X500.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you as well, Apotheosis again. Appreciate it, man.
Guy in the chat donated $3.33. I just realized, you aren't doing a 24-hour stream for the 24th anniversary of Starcraft.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you just too much of a pussy boy to go through with it, Artie?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
My wife said I should do it. I'm like, no. What the fuck? 24 hours? I need sleep?
SDFU old
I want to
man.
see my kids? I just, fuck that.
Nicodin cheered. X300, good night.
Hey, good night, Nicodin. Thanks for coming by, man. I hope that you enjoyed the match. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to play some more StarCraft, because I am super fucking pumped to play like iloveoov.